Hello, my friends. My name is Brian Nystrom, and you are listening to the Greenlight Weekend Podcast. I would like to take just a quick second to thank everybody that's been supporting us through this whole quarantine time. The YouTube numbers are going up. Numbers around are going up. We're seeing people in different places start to listen, so thank you very much. It's really cool. Since the quarantine started, this is really the only creative outlet I have, and I'm trying to give it to some of my friends as well. Everybody's been kind of quarantined on their own, and yeah, we're getting together, but we're trying to keep very small numbers and just trying to stay safe, you know? I just can't wait until I can go hang out with all my friends at a fucking open mic again. I don't care if there's an audience. I just want to hang out with my friends, tell some dick jokes, and try to make people laugh. But this is the only outlet I have for that, so thank you guys very much. God, I miss comedy. Speaking of comedy, this episode of the Greenlight Weekend Podcast is sponsored by Dead Room Comedy. Dead Room Comedy is a production company and comedy group based in Denver, Colorado. Check out their website, deadroomcomedy.com, where you can subscribe to weekly one-liners, get an email every Monday with original jokes to laugh through that work day. Also check them out at Dead Room Comedy on Instagram and Facebook, where you can find sketches, stand-up clips, and find out when live shows will resume. I love the boys over at Dead Room Comedy. They were gracious enough to sponsor this podcast, and I hope the cross-promotion can help us all out a little bit. They're good friends. If you didn't listen to episode 12 with the boys from Dead Room Comedy, go back and check that out. It's audio only. I couldn't figure out the video quite yet. But enough with the sponsorship read. I'm going to get to this episode. This quarantine episode is a special one for me because it is with one of my favorite people in the world. The first time I saw Callie Parmenter do comedy, I just wanted her to be my friend. I wanted her to like me. I just respect her. I respect her material. I respect what she's willing to talk about. I respect that she has no shame, and she always has the funniest shit to say. She always kills. She's beat me in every competition we've ever competed in. She was the next best comic of 2019, and if there was one this year, she'd probably fucking win that too. So yeah, this episode was with Callie Parmenter, our new guest host Dave Oakley, and of course me. We had a great fucking time. We caught up on quarantine. We talked about what it's like being a young mother for Callie. It's not going to be on a Mother's Day, but we tried. But yeah, we had a great fucking conversation, and I just hope you guys enjoyed as much as we did. So without further ado, Quarantine Episode 13 with our dear friend, Callie Parmenter.
Hey look, I just made it happen. Another young man out here rapping. All these antagonists coming at me. Saving the day, I'm the captain. Just imagine that I am a hero. Truth is, I ain't even got a scene, no. I don't ball, probably can't make a free throw. Lay a motherfucker out like Debo. That's right, little man with a big hook. And I got a big brain, reading them big books. I don't make shit rain.
Oh, he is comedy, dude.
Oh,
Callie,
God.
you are comedy in a person. The first time I saw you on stage, I was like, I want her to be my friend. Like, as
Yes.
long as that lady likes me, I feel like I'm doing all right.
Yeah, yep.
She's
First
talking
off,
to
I
you,
don't like
asshole.
anyone. No, just kidding. I do like everyone, but I love comedy for sure. And I've always been a jackass my whole entire life. So
Yes.
regardless of stand up, I've always tried to make people laugh. I've always just fucked with people. I always looked up to like the old timers that told funny stories and
For sure. Those are my favorite
yeah,
people.
totally. I was like, wow, this guy just keeping me captivated, just talking about his life, you know, like, and so, yeah, I mean, if you're not laughing, what the fuck are you doing? And
You're being bored. Yeah. And
boring.
laughter.
Not fun to be around.
Right. Laughter has always been my way to break tension. Like, not to like shit on my parents or anything, but there was a lot of like fighting in the house all the time.
Mm-hmm.
So if I could get a laugh, if everybody was laughing at once, like nobody was fighting, you know what I
Right.
mean? And I felt like safe because I was young and my mom was young when she had me. And it's like when people get, I know this is a terrible analogy, but when young people get their first dog and they don't know how to control their dog, they go to violence. You know what I
Right.
mean? Like, they're just like, fear me, like,
Yeah.
do what I want.
Yeah.
My mom had a little bit of that, but I was her first kid, and I can only imagine I was probably a hellion.
Oh, yeah.
I thought I was a handful.
And you were with Phil too,
Oh,
so
yeah.
twice the trouble.
It always
Yeah.
went that way. Yeah.
Well, it's hard to be a young parent, and like I had my daughter at 20, and she used to know how to hide from the cops.
She needs to.
No, she used to at like 3.
Oh,
like if
really?
the cops knocked at the door, she knew to fucking go and hide. So
You're a good teacher.
be nice to your mom.
I love her. I love my mom so much.
Oh God,
Yeah, that's funny. How many kids you have again? 3?
just 2.
2.
Yeah.
Yeah, come on, Dave.
Yeah.
God.
As a mother of a half black child, what do you think of this new Michael Jordan documentary?
That was funny, dude. It's good.
Oh God,
You've been watching it? No, for real though, it's so good.
I haven't seen it.
Oh,
That's so
disappointed.
sad. I honestly grew up in the 90s, and like all my little boyfriends in the 90s like love Michael Jordan, and so I might be anti Michael Jordan because of that. Like I respect what he was and everything, but it was just like so fucking annoying all the time for the people that were like into it.
Right? Yeah.
And
no,
I
can
also
see that.
have 2 guy friends my age, that named one of their kids Jordan because of Michael Jordan.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Yeah, that's
straight up.
extreme,
So
dude. That's
it's like
extreme.
it was a big deal. Like
It's not our friend Jordan, is it?
Yeah.
I don't know Jordan.
The
Who,
eighth
which
app?
one? Oh no, I don't know. Nope. I don't remember names that well. When you get like my age, 38 is when you start forgetting
38.
people's
I'm
names.
so bad at people's names.
Well,
like,
no,
I don't-
I forget. I'll be like, hey, I know who that is, but I don't remember his fucking name.
You have to really make an impression on me for me to remember your name. Otherwise, like especially at comedy shows, because I'm always trying to talk to my friends, and when somebody wants to like, oh, great set or whatever, and then the next week they're like, hey, you remember me? Just like,
Dude, I
remember your
Oh
face.
yeah, I mean,
that happens
that's
to me a
hard.
lot too, but like I think I forget for 2 reasons. Usually either because I'm drunk, or a lot of times even when I'm not drunk, I'm still just like when I'm at a comedy show, especially when I know I'm about to perform, someone comes up and talks to me, it's like
No,
they're
recollection.
like, I mean, like I'm not thinking about what I'm saying or doing or introducing myself to at all. Like I'm thinking about my set.
yeah.
I
trying to
just
be
get in my
polite.
head real bad about it. Yeah,
Oh,
and
yeah,
I try to
me
be
too.
polite, but I forget.
I don't try to be polite. I'm like, I look people dead in their eyes, and I'm like, shut the fuck up. I'm terrified right now. Like,
Yeah.
leave me. Shut the fuck
Well, yeah,
up.
you say that
doesn't
to
matter.
us, but when you meet somebody new or
Oh,
something,
somebody
I mean,
new.
I don't think you would say
I
that
don't
to
meet new
somebody
people.
Yeah, you do.
Callie's the only comic I've ever seen sit in the front row of somebody's set, just dead eyes. Just-
Yeah.
I love watching you guys, though. You don't understand how bad I like watching
I feel
you guys.
like most of us can get a laugh out of you at some point, but we had some comics from Tucson maybe, and it was that one dude that we didn't like, and she just sat in the front with her notebook and just stared at him.
But also,
never
like,
laughed.
Oh, really?
I don't laugh if it's
Where was
not
that at?
funny.
Yeah.
I don't give.
The
I don't
ranch.
give. I'm not trying to be a bitch, but I'm not gonna give encouragement laughs and all that shit.
No,
which
that's good.
I
shouldn't.
I appreciate the people that do that for me. They mean so much to me, and they're necessary. And there are people that will just, all that shit. But I'm not gonna laugh if it's not funny.
Yeah,
Period.
yeah.
If it's gonna be genuine.
Most
you
people
know?
just don't sit in the front
So,
row
I'm
and be
sorry.
mug a comic like
It's
three
great.
foot.
It's
And I have bitch
I was wa-
face too.
The
so-
only laugh I had during that set was watching you watching him because nobody was laughing, and I think I was talking to Dave like, look at Callie just fucking mean mugging this
Yeah,
dude just
yeah.
like 3 feet away.
Yeah. It's so funny. It's so funny.
And he
dude.
didn't know you, like, just
Yeah.
poor fucker.
He's just looking at him like you.
And I think he did like
Bless your
20
heart.
minutes. I think he was like the headliner for the night.
Because,
Yeah.
dude,
Oh,
And it
I mean,
sucked.
Oh man.
I'm like new at this shit, So
Yeah.
yeah, that was probably the first time I saw out of town comics, and I was like,
But yeah, if it's not
You
funny,
know.
don't laugh. Like
Yeah.
Matt Zemek always gets a laugh out of me.
he was
me too.
hilarious.
He's so
yeah,
funny.
very funny.
Even
He
the
was
shit-
funny. Like his
Yeah.
his joke about cops being horses and horses being cops or whatever. That was like that's golden to me.
Yeah.
So I remember that.
I like that one in the finger guns one, and then he ends up pulling out like an assault
It's
rifle.
like, I don't know why we can't do finger guns.
Yeah, I don't know. Like,
It's like,
yeah,
I
I
guess-
forget the joke, but
No, I mean,
it's fun. It cracked me up. There's something along the lines of you can't like.
Yeah,
start.
he's like, of course I do my finger guns like this.
Oh, that's what it was. Yeah. Oh, man.
Jesus. So yeah, I don't know.
I miss stand-up comedy so much.
Yeah.
I miss hanging out with, like, seeing you once a week, twice a week. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
more than that for a while, but
Well, I mean,
at least. And now I haven't seen you in
Yeah.
months.
those like open mics are. I mean, because I do have kids, and I am the bar manager of a really nice restaurant downtown. But so yeah, I mean, you guys are like the only ones I see socially.
Right.
know.
You know, so
That's the only time I go to
and,
town.
Yeah,
was to do
so
comedy.
it's been hard, but
Is your restaurant open right now?
no, we closed down.
Like
And-
for good?
no,
Okay.
we're waiting for shit to get
Yeah,
kind of
yeah.
back to normal.
Well, no, because I heard like several restaurants have closed down
Yeah.
for good. Like Eno, Three Peaks.
yeah,
the
which is sad. you
Yeah,
know?
it sucks. Like,
But
I mean,
if
I
they
feel
can't
bad
pay
for
their
'em.
rent and stuff, it's what
Yeah,
are
and
they
if
gonna do?
school's not in, like Three Peaks is
Oh,
getting
right.
fucked because that's
Yeah.
most of their business.
Oh,
like
I
every
didn't
day, all the high school
Yeah, I
students.
didn't even realize that. Yeah.
If I'm driving to or fro the gym around noon, I have to fucking go by the high school.
That's
so
right.
I know
Yeah.
way too much about what happens at the high school. They
That's-
drive like shit. That's for
high
sure.
schoolers?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
they
it's
just
terrifying.
they're figuring it
And
out.
$60,000 cars.
Oh,
it's
yeah.
crazy.
Yeah.
It's great.
Rich and bad at driving.
Nice.
So-
It's okay. Their parents buy them new cars when they wreck them.
I guess.
But if my kid wrecks her car, she's fucked. And it's a 2005 Honda, so
Nice. That's
Yeah.
nicer than anything
it's
I
actually
have.
nicer than my car.
That's almost best. Like Kelly's gonna have a nicer car than me probably, just because I'm
Oh,
fine
yeah.
in that
I
old
don't
truck.
want-
I
I
know how to
don't-
fix
yeah,
it.
I was gonna say that.
I'm not
suits
trying
you.
to pick her up,
Yeah. Exactly. Yeah.
and
I don't.
show up and fucking
Right.
tow her around.
Those are
and
the
all that
worst.
shit.
Every girlfriend I've ever had just constantly
Needs help.
calling me to fucking
Oh,
go fix
yeah.
their goddamn car.
I've always been undateable, so I'm actually can fix my car. I can do most things, like
You're
basic
badass,
things.
Kelly. That's why.
Spark plugs and shit.
Oh yeah.
I can
Hell
do
yeah.
that.
Yeah, I burnt the fuck out of my arm.
Holy shit.
Yeah.
Let me
That's a-
see, dude.
That's a go-kart exhaust right there.
What the hell? Okay. Sorry, guys.
What is it, dude?
It's from a go-kart exhaust. But-
When did that happen?
Sunday.
Holy smokes.
Yeah.
man,
I burn
that's-
myself a couple times a year just to
I mean, I've seen you
feel,
now do it.
feel something.
That's the second burn I've seen on you
It
in like
happens all the time.
2
dude.
months. Yeah.
Well, that's okay.
Yeah.
It makes you feel alive, right? You're
Ex-
like,
It's the
It's why
only
it does
way
it.
I can feel
Yeah.
something. Yeah.
yeah.
But yeah, my nephew, his brother was on his go-kart and he was ripping around the neighborhood, but my littler nephew's go-kart wasn't working.
Uh-huh.
And like, what am I going to do? Not try
try
to
and fix it. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
It's like
of
it's got to be
course.
fuel or spark.
Yeah.
Like it's a one-cylinder engine. We'll
Yeah.
figure this out. But
Yeah.
I did not refrain from burning the fuck out of myself.
But you got it going?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
yeah.
all that
That's what-
matters.
He was
Yeah.
doing donuts. Yeah, it was awesome.
Dude, he fucking loves
Yeah.
you, dude. You're like a
You're
god to him.
Most badass. Uncle.
Me and my brother.
Yeah.
Yeah. No,
That's cool as
That's
shit.
an uncle duty, especially if you're capable of
Absolutely.
it.
Oh, no.
That's-
Fixing
that's
a go-kart?
An uncle duty of
Yeah.
yeah, more than anything. Yeah, absolutely.
Just anything. Just be awesome. Like my kids, my brother is like the best uncle to my kids, and they totally think that he's like a god that walks on water, and I'm like some dumbass piece of shit. Basically, they're like, yeah, but Uncle Joe's like way cooler than you. And he's my younger brother. Then they're like, no, but he's like older because he's like so smart. And like,
Oh my God, dude.
They're just like Uncle Joe.
They're just roasting you 24/7.
Oh no, they're so terrible.
Oh
but
my
it's
God,
fine.
dude.
I
I
feel
mean,
like
I
it's-
made them that way.
I feel like it's a
Yeah.
good life skill. Just
And you,
They're
you,
smart
and
for
you,
sure.
and you let them come to like comedy shows where people are roasting people and people like, dude, they're yeah, they gotta be like smart, dude.
Well, I've never believed in censorship.
I agree.
I always, even like honestly, even when I was like in high school, I was like, how? Because like kids in the high school that they're like, moms wouldn't let them watch rated PG-13 movies
That was
and
me.
shit. It made no fucking sense.
I know.
Like, how are your kids gonna know how to process that shit? Wouldn't you rather them be like, hey, mom, I saw a dick on TV, and you'd be like, well, dicks sometimes come in multiple sizes, and da da da. You can like,
Right.
you know, you can guide them through this
Oh
shit.
man, that my parents were the opposite
and
of that.
That's
what I wish I
yeah,
had.
they definitely have, you know, I've been the one where they're like friends will be like, I gotta ask your mom this because I can't ask my mom, which is cool.
I had
you
friends'
know?
moms like that. For
and
sure.
and it's valuable, you know, For sure, you gotta be. I always thought it was dumb to lie to kids. Kids
Yeah.
aren't
Yeah.
stupid,
Right.
You know, whenever an adult like lied to me, I was like, "Bitch, I know what's up. You're
Well, and
dumb."
sometimes
Yeah.
you believe
Yeah.
it,
Yeah.
and then you go
Yeah.
through life thinking this
and
fucking
then
bullshit.
you believe, don't lie
That's
to kids.
the worst thing that can
so,
happen.
yeah,
Right.
my kids sometimes every day, basically, they wish they had a normal mom, but
They're gonna appreciate it when they're
in the
older.
Yes,
long
they
run, they're
will.
gonna be like, "Nah, fuck that."
Yeah,
like
my
I
mom's
know
the
what's up
shit.
with that.
They're
like,
gonna say
yeah.
that a lot.
So they're cool. We're pretty
Yeah.
tight. I'm pretty tight with them. I think
How old are they again?
one is 17 and one's 12.
Okay.
So I'm in what I'd like to think of as the home stretch.
Yeah, you pretty much are.
Back 9.
But yeah, in 6 years it's gonna be fucking Mom's Gone Wild.
Hell yeah, dude.
No.
Film it.
Oh God, Jesus Christ.
Ignacio gone wild.
Just buy a van and fucking tour the country doing comedy.
Well, yeah, I can do all that because I'll be 45, and I'll be done raising kids, so that's cool. Like being a young mom was intense,
Mhm.
you know, aka my older daughter hiding from cops and shit.
Right.
But
Yeah.
at this point, we're all okay, and I'm gonna be done at 45.
Man, that's
so.
pretty sweet. Well, I mean, not done, but you.
But yeah,
But for the most part, I mean,
Yeah.
are they planning to go to college and shit?
yes, the older one, yeah, the younger one may.
I mean,
we'll
the younger
see.
one's only 12, so I mean,
Yeah.
I guess
And
they're
I'm
both
not
girls,
gonna-
or right?
They're both girls. I'm not gonna
Okay.
force shit.
Yeah. No.
Um,
yeah.
And you know,
Just
in
be
this day and
guidance.
age, college doesn't always equal success. So,
100%.
and I don't want
Telling
them to
me,
go to
dude.
college
Yeah.
unless they want to.
Yeah.
You know, and all that good shit. So,
But it's good to start something. What I've realized at almost 30, that I wish I would have like
Had
stuck
something
with
going.
something, because I have a shitload of life skills,
mhm.
but I'm not like an expert at anything. You know
Like
what I
Jack
mean?
of all trades, master of none.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. But if I would have, say, started at a fucking, like as an apprentice to a fucking carpenter or something,
Right.
Yeah.
instead of just
I-
fucking worked with the
And I
shovel
encourage them
outside.
that
Yeah.
too. And like, I'm like, do not get pregnant. I'm like, I love you guys, but like, wait. You know, if I would have only had to worry about myself, this shit would have been a cakewalk. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Mhm.
Yeah,
Oh yeah.
for sure.
fucking just wait.
It's
so
a piece of cake.
I'm like,
Life
Yeah,
is
yeah.
so
I'm
easy
like,
without
I
kids.
was gonna
Cal.
say we're very well aware.
yeah.
Like, it's,
so
yeah.
it's
I have
know.
respect for young parents, man. That shit's hard.
it's okay.
But
though.
it's like, also, like, I kind of think part of it, because like the love you have makes it a
Mhm.
little bit less hard. Makes
Yeah.
it more of like you
It
you
wasn't
enjoy
like a
doing it
chore.
so much. Like,
Yeah.
it's like they say, you never work a day in your life if you enjoy your
Yeah.
job. So I mean, I'm speculating because I don't have kids, but like that's how I feel like
Well,
it would
yeah.
be.
It's very hard. It's
But yeah.
extremely rewarding.
Absolutely,
All
right.
the time, fucking rewarding.
Yeah.
Whenever you
So-
see them do something like figure shit out, like when they're younger, like
Yeah.
what's that feeling
Oh,
like? I bet
man.
it's the coolest.
I bet that's
well,
the best.
when they're like babies and they learn how to walk and da da da, you're like so proud of them and it's so amazing. But then when they're older and they start learning like life lessons
Yeah.
and putting shit together, it's like even
Exactly.
more amazing.
That's what I'm
so,
saying. Yeah.
Yeah, it's all
Because they're
very
learning
cool.
up here opposed to just physically like walking.
I respect people that don't want to have kids. The world is overpopulated. I want to have more shit. I want my kids to have more shit. Just
Sure.
don't have kids. It's cool. No.
yeah.
I think it's like kind of a part of the human experience. I
Mhm.
think there's things that happen to me having a kid that wouldn't have happened any other way.
For sure.
Just even like, you know, the you know, delivering and making a child and then raising a child. It's
Mhm.
huge.
Right.
It is a huge responsibility and a huge like sacrifice. And I was like babies, so I was like, cool, I'm gonna have these cute little babies.
Yeah,
Ooh.
right.
Everybody likes a puppy.
And these fuckers started
Right.
these fuckers started talking and fucking
Talking
walking.
shit.
fucking
Roasting you.
oi. I had to
Fuck
fly.
you, mommy.
Yeah, it's terrible.
God damn it.
It's fucking terrible.
What have I created? What have I
So,
done?
you know.
First time
It
one
is
of
what
them
it
told
is.
their teacher to
No,
go
I
fuck
think-
themselves.
Yeah.
That's
Oh,
a special
no.
day.
One of them walked out of a parent-teacher conference once and walked home. So yeah, that was dope. Me and the teacher just sitting there. I'm like, I'm sorry.
She's a wild animal. What can I say?
Yeah, she was like,
Do they get?
you're gonna tell my mom I'm not doing my work.
Did they get in trouble a lot at school? Or did the older one, and is the younger one currently like doing good? Or I mean, like,
the
getting in
older
trouble?
one is like a teacher's pet,
Uh-huh.
and the younger one is like, what the fuck's a teacher gonna do?
Yeah.
I
I
always
like
that
her.
kid better.
I like her, dude. Yeah.
I know, and I was like her too, but it's so hard to parent that.
Yeah.
I've only spent short amounts of time with her, and
Yeah,
she
same.
seems like a handful.
No, she's
Like,
a gangster, dude.
I just laugh.
But
She's
she's-
a rebel,
yeah.
dude.
Talking
She's
shit.
A fucking
She's really
rebel.
smart. She's like an old soul, and she's, you
Fuck
know,
yeah.
she's always done her own thing. And then the older one really is like the kind of type A personality where if she got a B, she'd be like crying and all
Damn.
this. And it was just, you know, super easy. And then the little one, I'm like, you gotta do your fucking work because I'm not trying to talk to your teacher no more.
Yeah.
I'm not trying
Yeah.
to do that.
No.
I don't want to go to
That
meetings
sounds-
every week and shit. Like,
Fuck all that. That sounds awful.
And it's your kid
Yeah.
they're talking
Oh,
about.
God,
Like,
that's
how
so
often are you just like,
terrible.
bitch?
Yeah.
Oh God, it's.
I
the
told
best.
my kid, if anybody gets in her face, to tell him to fuck off.
Yeah.
I'm like,
You
I'm
damn
like,
right.
and then I'm like all anti-establishment and shit too. And so at the end of the day, I'm like, yeah, but none of this really fucking matters. So get the fuck out of here, you know? Like, I like as long as she can do math
Right.
and read, she's gonna figure shit out on her own. And if you know, not everyone agrees with that, but I feel like those are essentials of what you should pull from school, and then you chase whatever you want to
I
chase.
don't remember any history
Yeah.
from school.
I love history.
Oh,
so
history is
All
my
the history
favorite.
I know I
Yeah,
learned
so,
after
yeah.
school.
History is my fucking
Yeah.
favorite.
So,
dude.
yeah, writing, arithmetic, like,
Yeah, I want you
The
to know how
basics.
to fucking count so you don't get cheated.
Yeah.
And know how to read so you don't get
Fucking
cheated.
don't get cheated. Yeah.
And then
Yep.
pursue what you want to pursue. And I tell her that all the time because she doesn't like school and shit. So I'm like, check it out. When you get 14, go get a job, save all that money up, and then me and you will like go backpack across Europe. You know? 'Cause-
Cool.
Sweet.
Fuck
Yeah, because and then maybe she'll figure it out. Maybe she'll be like, "Oh my god, I want to do this or
Dude.
live here."
You're the
da, da,
best
da.
mom.
So
That's awesome, dude.
Yeah, because
That's good advice.
She doesn't like 6th grade, so she'll
Yeah.
she'll be like, "Please don't make me go to college." And I'm
Oh.
like,
Like,
I'm
bitch, there's
not-
plenty of
I'm
time.
not gonna make you do shit.
when
Yeah.
I was young, I kind of thought I wanted to go to college, you know? And then I went through a stage where I thought I was going to be a doctor. And then I started going to college and started smoking weed. And then started selling weed. And then I was like, college seems like bullshit. Like I got this life thing figured out. I can just make money up here with weed. It's awesome.
Yeah.
Like, I thought I had it
Yeah.
figured out. I was going to be a career criminal.
Yeah.
Like, then I went to jail and I was like, I'm kind of
Yeah,
scared of
that's
that.
sad.
Yeah. Fuck all that.
So after jail was when I was really like, fuck, I wish I would have fucking kind of just stuck through and powered through and at
Yeah.
least had something to fall back on. But I have a bunch of friends with degrees. Everybody in Durango went to the fort. They still fucking serve tables, you know?
Yeah. Yeah.
Or sell weed.
And I've been
or
to college.
cocaine.
I've been to college 3 times for a collective amount of about 8 months. Like, over,
Yeah,
yeah, I fucking was
I dropped out
not
twice.
good. I
And
was,
you were
I dropped
unemployed a
out
week ago.
3 times. Yeah. Well, yeah, and I'm employed now, making decent money. But yeah,
Nice.
no, but I mean, the point is like, yeah, like you said, all my coworkers or whatever, a lot of restaurant people still have degrees,
have history degrees and all
but
that
I'm
shit,
making the
yeah.
same amount or
Mhm.
more than them.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and-
Jonas has a degree, and
and
he
you're
was
without-
unemployed
without
for
the debt.
3 months.
Well, and even I
Huh?
mean, even
Jonas was unemployed for 3 months.
yeah. No, that's
The last
I
3
mean,
months.
yeah.
That's why I have that joke that's like, nice history degree. Now go get me some ice.
Yeah, yeah, exactly.
Get
Great
the,
joke.
Get the fuck
I mean,
out of here.
it kind of makes me feel like a fucking loser a little bit that I couldn't finish any of those times, but then, like, maybe I'm just not wired that way, I guess. But anyway,
Well, I
yeah.
feel like if you have a reason to be there, like if
Yeah.
you're like, I want to be a nurse, I want to help people.
yeah.
You
okay,
can power
right.
through a
Yeah.
nursing program. But
And
if
I
you're
was
just
just
like,
kinda-
I need a degree,
That's it, and that's.
Yeah.
I think you're
That was
exactly
me,
right.
yeah.
That was
Yeah.
me too. That was me too. Had no what's it called purpose
Yeah.
at all. Like I
And-
didn't
and
want to do it.
also
I didn't
the
know what I
pressure.
wanted.
You know, people.
Yeah, forcing
You
me.
feel like you have to do that. Even me, like being like, I'm almost 40, but like I'm a single mom. I support my kids by myself. I make like 55 grand a year. I never fucking went to college. I know it's not a ton of money, but it's enough for to survive in this fucking town.
Mhm.
that's a
And-
good number.
And like,
Yeah.
but people still are disrespectful if they know I don't have a degree. You know what I'm saying? They'll be like, oh, but where did you go to college? Or, you know,
Yeah.
there's like a stigma and all this shit. And I'm
Definitely
like,
stigma.
okay, cool,
That's what-
awesome,
yeah.
great.
But they can't write a fucking joke. They can't
Well,
make
no,
people
I
laugh
mean,
about their
I didn't-
asshole.
I don't,
you know?
I don't not have a degree because I'm stupid. It's because
For sure.
I fucking was like pregnant. and shit.
Yeah.
So, you know,
Hell
it's
yeah.
all good.
Yeah, I
I
just
didn't, but
hated
I
it.
was just going to school just because I thought I was supposed to do it,
Right.
and I was all distracted and dumb and fucking.
That's where I was.
Yeah.
And I had started doing drugs real bad the same, like 2 months before I actually, or a few months
Mm-hmm.
before I actually went to
So
college
you got
for the first
accepted,
time.
you had a plan, and
I
then you
was
found drugs.
Yeah, basically.
Yeah. That's a great comment. That's kind
Oh.
of what happened to me. I had a plan. I knew where I was going, and then I started smoking
I
weed
got-
every day with
It
Phil. And I
wasn't,
was like,
but it wasn't weed, dude. This was like
right.
fucked up shit.
Luckily, where I grew up, I found drugs really early.
Like 13?
I
12.
mean, we were smoking. I mean, kids were smoking weed at like 9 and 10.
Okay, yeah, I started smoking weed. at
And then
14.
I
Some
started at like
Ignacio
14
shit.
myself.
Oh,
Yeah, but.
okay. Me too.
I will tell you, I did grow up in Ignacio, and in second grade, other second grade kids, and I'm not trying to knock Ignacio, I love where it came from. But they came home after school with me, and they had alcohol at 8 years old.
Damn.
And I was like, nah, I ain't about that.
Yeah, I remember like
But,
third, fourth
yeah.
graders smoking weed
Yeah.
on the
Yeah.
side of
Are
the
you
yeah
serious?
in Farmington, in the
In-
middle
I
of
mean,
town.
I'm sure they were in Georgia too, but
It-
I just, I
Well,
not
and in
me.
small towns, too, there's nothing to do.
Oh yeah.
Like, there's really nothing to do.
And somebody in your
Right.
family does drugs, so they're in the house. They're in the house. I
Gotcha.
smoked weed with my brother.
or your
like,
neighbor, older brothers.
a bunch
yeah.
when I was
Uh-huh.
younger, but it didn't like stick because I never had like a weed connect.
Uh-huh.
And then when I moved to Kirtland, me and Phil kind of stopped talking until we could drive, and then we started hanging out more.
Uh-huh.
But then like senior year, we just started hanging out every day,
Uh-huh.
and then we just smoked weed every day.
Mhm.
And then we got a house together and went to college, and
So it's
And learn
Phil's fault.
something. Yeah, so basically you're blaming Philly cheese.
no, Phil just showed me there was this world possible, and we weren't doing coke or heroin
Yeah.
or anything. We were just
Yeah.
smoking weed.
Yeah,
but
yeah,
We
that's
did,
And then
like,
I found
coke and meth
psychedelics.
and shit in high school.
Hey, I'll be right back.
psychedelics And all that shit.
back in 2
I didn't
seconds.
do coke until first time I did coke. I was on working a construction job, and we were in a church parking lot, brand new giant mega church, and we were building this paver like turnaround. And one of the guys was like, "You want a bump?" And it made pushing wheelbarrows full of bricks way more fun.
You're
Like,
all
yeah, I was pumped. And I was like 19
nice.
after I dropped out
Nice.
of college, probably.
Yeah. Sweet. That's good.
Yeah, that was a real fuck up, Callie. Still kind of am. I want to be a
First time
stand-up
I
comic. I
fuck
feel like you kind of gotta be a fuck up.
Yeah, that's why at this point, like, yeah, I've only been doing comedy for a couple of years, but I have like, you know, fucking, what is it? How much? Oh yeah, like a lifetime of experience being a piece of shit.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you'll fit in just fine.
So like, it's all good. No, it's fun. But I mean, I've always loved comedy and stand-up comedy and comedy movies and
Right.
you know all that shit.
Maybe half.
Maybe half.
You want some, Kelly?
I'm a baby girl. Sure, I'll take a whole one because
Cool.
Fill it up.
I'm not a baby
Peer
girl.
pressure. I'm in. You know what?
She got you, bro.
Peer pressure. I'm in.
She got you, bro.
Ah, shit.
This
Wow.
is
I forget what comic it was, but I was listening to a podcast, and that same thing happened where a guy was like,
shit.
"Come on, have some whiskey." And he's like, "No, I gotta drive." And he's like, "Have a drink with me." And he's like, "What's that? Peer pressure? I'm in."
I know.
Sip on it, dude.
I'm gonna be taking a nap with your dog.
That's
before I
fine.
leave.
That podcast couch right there
it's
folds
kinda
down.
it's kind of overflowing there.
That's okay.
I just didn't want to get on the wires.
I'm once again disturbed by Elliot Weber's fucking ass.
I just had those boys on the podcast over Zoom.
Oh, nice.
They're officially sponsoring the Green Light Weekend. Dead Room Comedy.
Oh, that's so sweet.
Really? Oh yeah. Duh. I knew that.
Yeah. Jonas opened.
It's fun. Act surprised. Learn it all over again.
We started the Zoom meeting and started recording, and then Jonas puts a big ass burrito in front of him and just starts unwrapping it, and he's like eating half the time. God, he's such a piece of
was
shit.
it distracting?
Such a piece of shit.
He is a piece of
And the
shit.
only way I could get the audio right was to do the Zoom on my phone.
Yeah.
So I didn't have a big screen. You know?
Yeah.
It was weird. But the quality on the audio is good. So
That's what's up, man. So
That is good.
what exactly are they doing for you?
not a lot, just a little cash.
Promoting?
Yeah, they're gonna promote and a little cash.
That's what's up.
So that should pay for at least what I pay for the podcast.
And then so you
And we just got to do a read every like 20 times a year.
Did they send us a
Uh-huh.
thing we got to read?
Uh-huh.
Really?
Uh-huh.
Okay.
Oh
Is it
my
funny?
God.
Not really.
Oh, they should make
But
it funny.
they said they're gonna change it and update it, so
Okay.
I'm excited.
That's funny.
The boys, they got
Fucking-
their own production company, and they won. They had a business plan
Oh yeah, did you see that?
contest
I did.
for the fort. Yeah,
Yeah.
and
They won.
they're doing stuff with that
Yeah,
money,
it's really
like
awesome.
sponsoring us.
Oh, they're giving back. That's
Oh,
why they're
fuck
going to
yeah.
be successful, because they're kind and they give back.
Yes.
Not because they're funny.
Holy shit. Callie's in the building. Look, you see the giant spike on the computer where Callie screams.
So you're gonna blow some people's fucking eardrums out.
I'm so sorry.
Someone just like
I'm so
unsubscribed.
fucking sorry
That's
for
hilarious.
those people.
I always get like a Joey Diaz vibe from Callie because she is unpredictable like that. And yeah, if you're listening to a podcast
right.
with Joey Diaz, you got to turn it down a little because
I'm
eventually
sorry.
he's gonna go, oh,
It's
or some
hilarious.
shit.
Like I think it started to hurt, and then I was just laughing too hard. It was funny.
I can't do anything quietly, which is really annoying. If
For your children.
If
for
your
my
children
kids,
are home, yeah.
Especially during quarantine.
So if you're
My
up,
s-
everybody's
my
up.
17-year-old's gonna kill me. Yeah, she's like, I was gonna fucking kill you this morning.
Like
So-
banging pots and shit in the
You
kitchen.
know, I'm just like, well, this morning I didn't have any butane and I couldn't take any dabs, so I tried to light like paper off the stove and take a dab that way, and
Oh
then
my
I set
God.
off the smoke alarm.
Don't you have a stove?
Nah, it was electric.
Oh, bro.
Man. Worse.
The sun wasn't even up. I don't know what
You don't
time
got
it was.
a grill or
hilarious.
something?
No. I
Oh
don't-
man, that is
I
so
don't like
funny.
The
grill.
crackhead in me was like, there's
Yeah,
ways to do
no,
this.
I know.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know. That's what I was thinking too. I had no lighters.
Oh my god.
So yeah, I mean, she's
really
not
funny.
wrong, but also
No, she's
like,
not wrong.
like,
I gotta take her side on this one.
But I can't
That's
change
a
the
good
way
one.
I am. I do shit like that all the time.
yeah,
Like
dude.
I'm fucking annoying.
Enjoy it, dude. Enjoy
I've done
yourself.
a lot of dumb shit, and I will continue to probably do dumb shit.
Dude.
Not on purpose.
Do you
Not
have
like
a
I'm
fire
like,
extinguisher?
I'm gonna do this dumb shit.
I know, it just happens.
Yeah.
I'm the same way.
No,
Like
I don't
idiot.
have a fire extinguisher.
I'm gonna give you one. I have some.
Oh, if you actually
Just
have
in
one, that's
case.
cool.
Yeah, just in case.
Yeah,
Sounds
good
like you
idea.
could definitely burn your house down.
Yeah.
I-
It sounds
yeah.
like you almost did this morning
But I
before
bet you,
sunlight.
Well-
I bet you've had some close calls, so you know what to do. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I set a car on fire once.
What?
Yeah.
Because I was like smoking weed with matches, and I
Didn't put it out.
I
you
just
threw it
like
on the
set the matches in the bowl in the seat of the car, and then I went inside and like started smoking more weed with my sister. And then my brother came in. He's like, "You need to call the fucking fire department." And I was like, "Why?" And he's like, "You said your girl out here." Like I'll never forget his face. He was so pissed.
You fucking idiot. You set your car on fire in the driveway.
It burnt out the whole passenger seat.
Oh my god.
But we didn't have to call the fire department. We got it out ourselves.
Got the garden hose.
Did you have a fire extinguisher then?
Nope.
Garden hose.
She could definitely put out a fire in
No,
her
I've
house.
almost set shit on fire for sure.
Oh my god.
Like one time, me and Phil were fucking with. I just got this cast off my ankle. I used to break bones all the time. Like,
Really?
Yeah, all the time. So I just got a cast off my ankle or my arm or something, and we filled it with fireworks. We're shooting at it with a Roman candle from about 20 feet away, you know,
Uh-huh.
like you do. And Roman candles very unpredictable. Like, you can kind of point them away from you, but once
Yeah.
they get out of the tube, they're really
Yeah.
wild. And one of them just went into the, like, dead weeds next to my brother's house.
Uh-oh.
Just, like,
Uh-oh.
immediately. But we've almost set shit on fire before, so we had a hose handy.
Is that what you were getting at? Oh, okay.
I don't know.
I mean, I could still benefit from an extinguisher, I think.
No, for sure. Yeah, I got you.
He's got like a basket of them, like a big basket
Yeah,
of them.
when he was.
Who has
yeah.
that?
I used to own a fire extinguisher company.
Oh.
That's who.
Yeah.
That's who
Oh,
has
that's
that.
the only person.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
the
I
only
was like,
person.
why? I
There's
figured.
3 of us in the
Okay.
area. Yeah.
Fucking. It's
Oh,
funny. This is a
shit.
big ass
I didn't
basket.
know you were a fire marshal.
I
That's
wasn't.
cool.
Fire marshal is different. They inspect.
I know,
Yeah.
but
yeah.
not a fire marshal.
Yeah, when I
Bill.
got out of jail, I had just randomly got a job with this dude that knew my mom, and that's what he did. And then I worked for him for a couple years and decided
This
he was a
dude that
cunt.
randomly fucked your mom.
I doubt it. Maybe.
He's all, do not talk
possible.
about my mom like that. She is a saint.
She's watching for sure.
Yeah.
I
And
know,
she is a
great.
goddamn
I
saint,
know,
Callie.
I'm just kidding.
My mom's a
I
saint.
don't
is a
want you to
saint.
get in trouble,
Jesus.
and I am fully aware. I'm sorry.
Okie dokie. But yeah, this guy that fucked my mom one time. Sorry, Mom, that was the funny thing to say. It's the only thing I could say.
yes.
But
Thank you. for
yeah,
that.
he owned a company like that, and then
If you're gonna shut down my
I
comedy,
decided he
I
was a cunt, so I started my own company, and then we failed in like 18 months. and-
And now I have a surplus of fire extinguishers
I got
of
a
all
few.
of all shapes
now
and
you
sizes.
can help your friends. Hey, it's the Southwest. It's very dry here.
I know.
You know?
I've literally given many friends fire
There was an
extinguishers.
evacuation order
Yeah,
for
there's a
like
fire right
a
now.
day, but they recalled the evacuation order today.
That's cool.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah, I just saw that yesterday, and
Yeah,
Fuck.
me too. I saw that yesterday. I was like, holy shit! I didn't even
some
know
white
there was a
people out there
fire.
celebrating Cinco de Mayo,
Probably, dude. Yeah,
burning pallets and shit.
Yeah, but it was pretty bad apparently. But I think they got it under control. Apparently,
The firefighters around here are pretty well practiced.
I imagine
They got
so,
a lot of
dude.
fucking experience.
I've never experienced fires like on a grand scale like till here.
Well, this area is like a combination of desert and forest.
Yeah.
Like sometimes it's like a fucking rainforest, and
Yeah.
sometimes it's like a desert.
Yeah, and with the elevation, the wind is so high too that just
Yeah.
pushes it right along, right?
It's like, you guys have hurricanes and shit.
Yeah.
This is our problem.
Yep. I know. I can't decide
Welcome to
which.
the Southwest, Dave.
Yeah, I know.
Because your
thanks.
shit seems terrible.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, when
And
the ocean
alligators?
comes for you,
I'll
fuck
ta-
all that.
Can I
Yeah.
just say I'll take bears over fucking alligators?
No, dude, not
and
me.
crocodiles
They're warm-blooded.
Any
Not
fucking
me.
day. Fucking terrifying ass dinosaurs.
Yeah.
Agreed.
All you gotta do is run diagonal. I mean, that is an actual fact. It really works.
Well, all you gotta do to bears is say, "Get the fuck out of here."
I've
Yeah.
scared
I've seen that not work. I've
Oh,
seen
it
that
works
not
for
work.
me.
I've scared many a bear, and yeah, you shouldn't be in the woods by yourself.
Yeah.
But in a group of people, you should be okay.
Dude, I'm talking about my friend who's 6'7". He's fucking huge. Walking home in the alley I lived in a couple years
Town
ago.
bears are a little scrappier. They're real used to
He
people.
was like,
Yeah, you
like
can't mess
this,
with them town
like
bears.
this, he's probably like 9 feet in the air. Like, get out of here, bear. This bear would not budge. And he's like, Dave, I would happen to be smoking a cigarette at the time, me and Kat. He was asked us to come down there and help him. And as soon as we walked out there was 3 of us. Then the bear scrammed.
yeah.
But like, it was not budging for this one huge person. So I was like, I'm not, very big.
I don't make a habit out of walking through alleys at night. In
I live in an
Durango.
alley.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah, I live. Well,
Then
but
you're
And you
not
can't
really
be trusted
living,
with a gun. Yeah.
I don't want one.
You don't
But-
shoot the bear. You shoot. You just make loud
Shoot
noise.
yourself so you don't have to deal with the bear.
If it comes, no, I'd put about 6 of the bear, and if it's still coming, maybe, yeah, because it's gonna eat your asshole first, and that's a
Uh-huh.
problem.
Just like this guy. When I got here today, this dog poked his head right up my asshole.
Yeah, like
Apparently, he's an ass man.
no.
I think he did the same to Khaled
Yeah,
too.
he did.
Sorry.
He
Like,
started
I
from
mean,
like
he-
the bottom, like the taint, if you
The
would,
whole
Yeah.
and went in and then straight up.
Yeah.
It's the reverse
For
credit
me-
card right there.
For me, it was just like. For me, it was just a bullseye, dude. He just shot his nose like and just like right up the
Yeah.
hole.
Well, I mean, I'm not gonna say it felt terrible, but like, come from a dog, you're not supposed to enjoy it. So
Yeah, you can't enjoy that.
Half your material is about aliens eating your ass and stuff? No, that's Predator.
Dog fucking.
Yeah,
Dog
I mean,
fucking.
it's right up
It's
your alley.
everything.
Yeah.
It was right up my alley.
He's heard your
You know
jokes
what I'm saying?
before. Yeah,
It was
he saw
definitely
you
up
on
my
stage
alley.
once.
No, I don't fuck my dog, guys.
Oh yeah.
Oh shit.
You should give it a shot.
Did you guys know that?
Oh shit.
Did we know what?
Did you know that May is Mental Health Awareness Month? It's also International
That's why
Masturbation
Callie's
Month.
losing her mind.
know.
Is that why Callie's losing it?
I'm trying to hang in there.
You're doing good.
Yeah.
don't know,
How's
man.
the quarantine been? Have you just been
Well,
home
Well,
with your fucking kids?
what I've been doing is, thank God I'm a country girl, because I know people with horses, and I'm good at riding horses.
Wait, really?
And so I get to ride horses and stuff, and I go to lakes. I found an arrowhead by this lake by Cortez where people normally only find dead bodies.
Cool.
So like,
Sweet.
way-
That's a
Winner,
lot.
winner.
Hey, that's a lot
Yeah.
lighter than a dead
Yeah.
body.
No, so I mean, I've been getting outside and shit, but yeah, it's just me and the kids. They hate it. I hate it. I like thrive off people, you know. I mean, I need my alone time and shit,
Get
but
away,
I thrive off of fucking
Go away, buddy.
talking shit and
Yeah.
interacting.
Like
and,
doing
I
this
mean,
shit, dude.
That's why I've
Yeah.
always done restaurants, you know.
Right.
So you
Same.
can bullshit
Same.
around
Absolutely.
and have a good time, and human resources doesn't exist, and it's great. I mean, yeah, human resources is a real thing.
There's
Yeah.
no human
But, yeah.
resources at my work either. It's
Yeah.
just me
They
in the
always-
middle of the woods.
We
Like,
technically
I
have
always
it.
sexually harass like the young like 16 and 17-year-old kids that work there, and
For
then
sure.
I'm like, you should tell human resources, and they're like, who is it? And I'm like, it's me.
Yeah.
I'm like, yeah, that's fine. It's fine.
That's fucking
Fuck
hilarious.
those kids. No.
Oh my god. What the fuck?
It's a peacock.
It's a peacock.
Yeah, I was like, what?
It sounded
I
like a
was like,
kid
is that
getting.
the
It
butt?
sounded like a kid getting fucked.
Sexually harassed?
Yeah,
God.
it sounded
I
like
know.
it.
They low key like it.
For sure. I always loved it when I had like an older
Holy
woman
shit.
above me in the company.
That's what I always
It was
thought.
my favorite.
Yeah, you never forgot that bitch.
My
right?
favorite. No,
Yeah.
I
You
still
remember
keep in
for her whole
contact
life.
with them. I love them.
I am
Some
that
of my
person
favorite
to
people.
So many people.
Yeah.
Yeah. They're like this bitch.
Oh, hell
this
yeah.
one bitch. Yeah.
When I started at Purgatory, like the first year lifties ain't like nobody gives a fuck about you. So all our foremen were hot women, every one of them. So
Uh-huh.
day one of training, I just hit on all of them, and they all enjoyed it. So I got taken care of, and then they continued to sexually harass me for 3 years, and it was
Duration.
lovely.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's my favorite.
So we tried to be bad with social distancing last week, I guess. I don't know. I don't understand the rules. So we went to Cocaine Cove. You know where that is?
Mhm.
But we went like Andes, I guess, one up. We were at Navajo Lake, but it's
Oh.
like you go off all these oil well roads. It's all
Yeah.
unincorporated. It's fucking weird. It's in the boonies. So I thought we would kind of be okay. And I brought my teenage daughter and one of her friends. Well, next thing you know, there's like 10 more teenagers there, and mostly boys. And they were like, "Mom, they had nowhere to party, so they came down here." So they came down there. Yeah, exactly.
Uh-huh.
But it's a party spot. It's a local,
It's-
like, from
it's called
Farmington,
Cocaine Cove.
Aztec, for years,
Yeah.
for like 75
It's where
years.
underage
It's
people
in
get
the-
fucked
is
it-
up.
It's on the New Mexico side.
Yeah.
Yes. So it was just, I let my daughter have a good time, actually, even though I wanted to hang out and like ruin these kids' childhood. But I did hang out for a minute, and once I told them I was 14 and stuff, they liked me.
Yeah.
My kid was just mad at me, but one of her friends was like, "Kelly, I saw you touch that boy's face, you pervert." I was like, dude, I don't know. I think he liked it, but all I'm saying is it's fun to be a filthy old lady now at this point.
Yeah. Instead of a creep.
And
I'm
nobody
at the
cares
point.
if
No,
you're a
the
filthy
boy-
old
no,
lady.
the
If you're a
boy-
filthy
No,
old
everybody
lady,
loves a
Dude,
filthy old lady.
yeah,
Nobody
Yeah.
loves a creepy old man.
If my kid hadn't told me she was gonna like disown me, I would have went over there and probably like raged it with teenagers all night, because you know what? I like to have a good time. I've been stuck in fucking quarantine.
Yeah, yeah.
you didn't buy the beer.
No, they showed up with beer.
Were you
in
on
the
a boat?
woods. No.
Oh no. Okay. So just like camp.
It's one
Yeah.
of the
Okay.
places you can drive to.
Yeah.
Just
Yeah.
camp. Cool.
Yeah. So, so I respected my daughter. She should appreciate that. But yeah, if that little boy was trying to flirt with me, it ain't my fault.
Good on you.
Still got it.
Yeah, exactly. Good for
Oh,
you.
God.
That's how you do it.
Dear God.
You need to write a book for these younger ladies.
Well, that's the thing is I think
Let these bitches know what's up, Callie.
younger ladies have a chip on their shoulder, like myself included. You know what I mean? Like, you got to grow up.
Yeah, I
And
guess.
young men and young women, maybe.
Yeah,
Maybe
people-
grow up a little
yeah,
bit.
people should
have to
grow up.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I'm
it's a
not
good
saying
idea.
it's gender specific.
It definitely is.
They should grow up.
But, yeah, you know, you get less self-conscious as you get older.
That's the best part about
Yeah,
getting older. I
it
talk
is.
about some shit that I would never want to say.
Right.
And
As
I'll
it-
say it in
oh.
front of strangers.
Yeah.
It's part of my act. Like, I would
Yeah.
never talk
Absolutely.
about shitting my pants when I was, like, real self-conscious
Oh,
at
no.
20 or
No.
something.
Right.
I wanted to be cool. I wanted people to like me.
Yeah.
But now that's how I get people to like me. It's a test to see if you could hang out.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly, dude.
Don't gotta
Yeah.
lie to kick it, but it's can't handle a shit your pants story. We're not gonna be friends.
You got that
Yeah,
right, bro.
yeah, for sure.
You're absolutely right.
That's a blessing, right? We can now talk about shitting our pants.
I feel
together.
like every time I've shit my pants has been a blessing.
I actually I shit my pants at like probably the first time I think I was like 25, and then I fucking kept it a mortifying fucking deep down dark secret, and then when I was maybe like 28, one of my homeboys was like, "Yeah, I shit my pants like once a week," and I was like, "Oh my god, me too."
Yeah, once you meet some real like full blown alcoholics, yeah.
Right, exactly. Like you drink.
Oh my god.
You drink all the time. You eat fucking chili dogs. You have to shit your
Eventually.
pants. Like,
Yeah.
You're not gonna not shit your
It's
pants.
like playing Russian roulette with your
Yeah.
asshole, yeah.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, this quarantine has turned me into a full blown alcoholic. Now that I don't have to
Yeah.
drive to comedy, like that's the only thing that was holding me back was like 3 nights
Yeah.
a week I had to drive into
Now
town
you
and back.
understand me for the past 2 years.
Right, but I've
Because I walked everywhere and drank everywhere.
I've just been
But
getting
I've gotten
fucked
better.
up.
I've gotten better during the quarantine, dude.
Nice.
Like for the most part, I mean, yeah, it's fucking afternoon and I'm having a couple beers with you guys, but it's because haven't.
This
seen,
is a celebration
you,
of life,
you I
goddammit.
see,
Yeah.
you I see a couple times a week. Kelly, I haven't seen you in months, dude.
Yeah, I
like
know.
it's fucking great, man. Yeah, fucking yeah. You,
For sure.
Damn right, I'm gonna have a beer. But
Green
like,
light weekend, bro.
but yeah, but for the most part, man, I've been trying to turn it around from what it was because
Yeah.
even before the quarantine, I was not healthy,
Well,
and now it's getting better for
and
me.
you don't have the stresses of you haven't had the stresses of like your job or
Well,
whatever. You
well,
can't feel sorry for
I
yourself
am now.
because work
I
sucks.
I work.
Right.
I work there again.
You
Right,
know-
and we'll see
you
how
know
long
what?
it takes to beat you back into alcoholism.
Oh, I know.
Like,
I didn't start
uh,
off good.
Bartending
I'll
though,
tell you.
and having access to liquor all the time
Hmm.
is like a huge catalyst.
100%.
Drinking.
Yeah.
So I haven't been all year. I've been trying to be good, guys. Okay. But definitely so much easier just not being around alcohol
Right.
5 nights a week,
Well,
where you can have one or 2 shots and then you're like, Wah!
Oh yeah.
So that it sucks because I make my living off of booze, but
Yeah.
also it's like,
Well,
Yeah,
booze
but
is essential.
The fucking first 3 days I was back this past week. Not I pressure washed for 3 days in a row like last week.
Yeah,
And
some redneck work.
That it was fun, dude. But then like since we reopened, I worked 3 days, and I'm not gonna lie, like me but also a lot of coworkers, man, we were just kind of like hitting up tasters
Yeah.
of our double IPA whenever. And it didn't. It was bad. It made me say to like Kat, I was like, I don't like this. Like 3 days into the restaurant being reopened, and I'm fucking drinking like a hooligan again. Like, and so I caught myself, stopped it yesterday, and I'm going back to how I was before 4
Yeah.
days ago. Because like I have been doing really well throughout this quarantine, exercising, not drinking as much, and then as soon as we open back up, man, I hit it hard
yeah. Like,
for the first
woo!
3 days.
Yeah.
Well, and
dude.
it feels good too, probably
I
to
guess
work
so.
and be with your friends, and
I think
Yeah.
you're
that's what
talking
it was.
shit,
I
and
think-
it's
I think
drinking
it was
is communal.
Yeah, I think it was easy to get carried away because we were just having fun, like working with friends again
Yeah.
and stuff. So, but I mean, I don't want to make any excuses for it. It
I'll
was irresponsible.
I'll say this, and because my bosses will never see this, but like
Nobody watches this.
is like when I'm working, if I'm fucking annoyed for a split second, I just like start pounding premium liquor and do whatever the fuck I want. And like, I'm the fucking manager. I could do that shit with my eyes closed. I'm not trying to brag, but
You're
it's
goddamn
not
professional.
science. And
Yeah,
like,
no, you're right.
and I also, up until about 6 months ago, I'd lived 2 blocks from my job.
Right.
So I could just
Didn't have to
fucking
drive.
get
Yeah.
fucking
Oh.
litty titty every night.
Yeah. yeah.
And,
Are you
like-
still? Are you still that close to the grid?
No, I moved to Hesperus. I'm
Oh,
actually.
that's
yeah, but
right.
I'm saving like $500 a month.
Oh, good for
That's
you.
a lot.
Yeah,
yeah,
That's
yeah.
a bunch.
Fucking huge. So, and also I'm drinking less because of that.
Yeah, I was
Yeah.
gonna
Because
say you can't be
yeah,
driving
if
like
I'm
that.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, I can fucking walk home.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, no, I'm a real live piece of shit. So,
That's why we love you.
Yeah, it's okay. It's it's a battle.
Piece of
but
shit with a heart of gold.
There you go.
That's-
there you
that's
go.
Cali,
there
dude.
you go. In a nutshell.
Yep.
But yeah.
Those are my favorite kind of people.
Yeah, dude, me too.
Me too. I know. I'm always telling my kids, I'm like, I mean, you don't want to be like me, but like, I'm happy. Like, you don't want to not be like me.
I love
like,
people
I'm
that
cool.
have been through some shit. They
Yeah.
won't
Yeah.
judge me.
Yeah,
You
you,
know?
got that right,
Because
Wow.
I'm
dude.
very likely to say something that comes off
Yeah.
unappealing.
Yeah.
I've hung out, I've done like dinner nights with some of Kelly's friends, and they did not like me.
I hate that.
Oh, I would hate that, dude.
And once I
Yeah.
start getting drunk, like,
they're like,
I've got to let it fly. If
Yeah.
one person laughs, I'm going to keep going.
yeah, yeah,
And then
I don't
That's-
read the non-laughers.
yeah. And they're bankers, right?
Yeah.
Like, can't be that fun. No offense to Kelly. Kelly's fun.
is Kelly a banker?
She works at a bank. Yeah.
Okay.
So I don't know if
I
that
mean,
makes her.
I don't know. Some of the bankers I know like
Pretty-
get loose.
pretty
I
fun.
think.
Oh, they-
Like-
they're
They
fans of
they
drugs.
party and shit, but from what I heard, they seemed very judgmental nonetheless.
They're just a little uptight. They're used to wearing
yeah.
a tie to work. You
That's
know
what I
I
mean.
I don't
That's-
have to
yeah.
wear a shirt at work.
yeah.
I do whatever I
Yeah.
want.
I wear this to work.
The worse job or the worse the job is for that day, the more likely we are to drink beer, which is awesome.
Yeah.
Like if he's like, yeah, I'm gonna need you to scrub a bunch of nasty mud out of a fucking pit,
Right.
but here's a beer.
Yeah.
You know what? All right,
Yeah.
we're
Yeah.
gonna get through this.
Is
Yeah.
that one of those like noise fucking things?
No, it was just a light that Coel found at a thrift
You're
shop.
giving me fucking like PTSD because when I was in elementary school, we had one of those in our cafeteria.
That if you got loud, it
and
went.
if you got loud, it went to red light, and then it was like you were fucked. if
I
that
think I
happened.
remember some of that. I think I remember some of that growing
Are you
up.
serious? That's
Yeah,
like,
straight
The
up, dude.
cafeteria is supposed
They'd
to be
be
the
like,
place
"It's
you
on
can
you."
go.
They'd be like, "It's on yellow. It's on yellow."
Oh
And be like,
my
"Oh,
God.
fuck,
Well,
keep
stop
on
yelling,
fucking-"
bitch.
that is really
I was like
funny.
actually pretty shy and quiet till about like
The most interesting
grade.
people usually were.
I always was. Throughout
Yeah.
all out of school, I was shy and withdrawn, kinda.
yeah.
And
for
then
sure.
whenever you start like getting outgoing, you say something that you regret. You know what I mean? When I start talking enough, eventually I'm gonna say something I regret,
Yeah.
and then that makes you be more shy and quiet
Yeah.
until I hit that age where I was just like, I don't really give a fuck. Like if you're a friend, you're a friend in my best and
Yeah.
worst. I don't
Well,
know.
it took for
Yeah.
me.
I never dropped the
it-
N-bomb on accident. You know what I mean?
No, no. It took getting on drugs for me because the
have
drugs
a half
made me
life.
that. You know,
Yeah.
made me like less shy.
Yeah, drugs and alcohol help me
For
with,
sure.
with social
Helped me a lot.
anxiety.
Me too,
Yeah.
tremendously.
I mean, I think it's
And
just
with other-
anxiety.
and it helped
shit.
me. Like I remember the first time I took acid, I realized how much bullshit I've been taught my whole life as far as the religious shit
Well,
goes. You
yeah.
know, and like so, it truly helped me because it like got me
Yeah.
out of that world. Like I realized everything was bullshit,
Mhm.
and I escaped from it.
The
and
best thing that happened to you is your parents' biggest regret.
Yes, 100%.
That's a bummer.
You're absolutely right.
It's
The
similar
best
in my
thing
life.
that happened
It's
is
a
Dave
tragedy.
is fucking cat.
Yes, and
100%.
that's true too.
100%.
That's 100% true. There's not even a question.
I
or-
love you,
his
Cat.
Polish soul.
Cat, you have to listen to this because you love your husband.
No, she'll listen to this. She'll watch it on YouTube. I guarantee it.
But no, yeah, I mean psychedelics open people's mind.
Dude, it helped
I've
me
had
so
a fucking
much.
spiritual experience every fucking time I ever did it. from
Yeah,
the
we should go to
beginning
La
till the
Plata
end.
Canyon. Now that you live out there, we should go camp for a
Yeah.
night.
Well,
and
it's still
do
pretty
some
wet and
drugs.
gross.
No, not yet.
Yeah.
But yeah.
In the middle
In
of
the middle-
summer.
I remember I asked you for drugs and you never got back to me.
I didn't get any.
I figured it's a quarantine and all, but
Yeah, everybody's holding on to their
it's
acid.
okay.
Yeah.
I found some.
Allegedly.
And then my kid's like ripping it up on her fucking dirt bike and shit. And I was like,
Oh,
please do
I
not
thought you were
hurt
talking about
yourself
that
because I'm not taking you to the hospital because I'm on acid. And she's like, what the fuck?
Timber.
It's okay. It won't spill.
Yeah, ride
fine.
accordingly.
I'm not on acid.
Just
right
know
now.
we're not going to the hospital
No.
until tomorrow.
That's
Hell
my
no.
main thing. That's like actually, I trip a lot. Sometimes I trip by myself,
I trip by myself.
like over the years and
Oh,
shit.
yeah.
But then,
Got
like,
a couple dogs
if,
around you.
Kinda
that's
my
like
favorite.
that's like my big fear is like I'll trip at home and I'll be like in my room chilling and shit, and then
Light
I'm like,
your house
I'm,
on fire.
No, well, I know how to put
It's
out
so
fires now.
beautiful. Yeah, but you wouldn't want to.
I'm afraid that one of my kids will hurt themselves and I'll like have to take them to the ER and I'll be tripping balls.
How many times? How many times have you had to take your kids to the hospital, like for injuries?
When they were little, a lot, but now
Yeah.
not in a long time. But I'm just saying, you know how sometimes you have irrational shits or whatever?
It's
Yeah.
actually
That's like
quite
my
rational.
shit. Where, well,
I mean, it's
Yeah.
rational as fuck, dude. If they
shut up.
dude, that is a very rational thing
That's-
to think.
I
It's
mean-
a terrible thing to think about while you're trying to enjoy yourself
I-
on some psychedelics.
That's why
though.
you don't take psychedelics when you're watching kids.
That's
You're not watching kids. They're like
Fair.
They're like 12 and 17,
Okay.
and they're fine
so
unless
the 17-year-old can drive. Fuck
Yes.
yeah, dude.
Yeah,
But what if she's the one that hurts herself?
No,
exactly?
No,
Then
tell,
I might call the ambulance.
Just tell-
at that point,
It's
honestly. Well,
so I mean, it's better than
it's better than
driving
me
like
getting
that.
in trouble.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but a
I'm saying
broken
I'm
bone will be
paranoid about
fine
that.
for the next 4 hours. You
Listen,
can come
Dave,
down.
If your mom would have took acid in her room, you
wish.
wouldn't have. Exactly. So chill
Yeah.
out. But that's a fear. You
Oh,
know.
I'm not judging.
You
I'm not.
sounded kind of judgy, bro.
Who's she gonna have watch her kids? It's a fucking
Am I-
quarantine, Dave.
No, I
Well,
know.
you know.
Oh no, I'm not judging, dude. I wish my mom would have done something like that. But yeah, I'm just saying, dude. I didn't know there were dirt bikes involved.
I mean,
That
I live in
adds
It
another.
happens.
It's
That
the
adds
country.
that adds another
the
element
country.
of danger.
Like I was working on a go-kart. It's just what you do. You get something with a motor and you go raise hell on it.
I mean,
Yeah,
Whatever you can find.
and you get hurt
and
easy.
We had $1,000 cars. We would
They're
just
okay.
mob down to the river and just e-brake every corner, and that was just
I mean, it
what we
sounds like
did
fun,
daily.
dude. I would do that if I was born out here.
where I learned how to
This is
drive.
what country kids do.
Yeah.
Is like start
Fair enough.
fires and ride dirt bikes and drive fucking old cars into the lake and leave them there. And
I haven't done it, but I've seen it.
yeah, like
What?
Yeah.
All right.
We didn't leave it. We pulled it out.
We
We got a big truck, threw a chain on that bitch, and pulled it out.
I know some people left the Jeep in the Animus.
I got close.
Oh, really?
Actually,
I remember that.
I got kind of close to that for the city.
You tried to leave a car in somebody's front yard.
No, I left a car in a Walmart parking lot. It just died as I was like pulling it. I was like trying to get
Just
home,
broke down.
but it just broke down, and so I rolled it into the parking lot, into a parking spot, got out, took everything, and just
Just
walked.
left the keys
I,
on the seat.
I just walked, and I walked home. Yeah, and I never went back.
Did they call you?
I left I left
Nice.
a broke down car on the top of Red Mountain, and they did call me because it had a crack pipe in it. But I never
I
got
might have
charged.
Shit.
I might have taken.
You gotta
that.
toss the crack pipe off
That
the
was
cliff.
15 years ago. I didn't remember.
In that
I didn't know it was
situation.
in there. I had moved everything.
Anytime
I
you're gonna
owned
leave a car.
from Junction to
don't-
Durango, I was trying to like move home.
From
Yeah.
where to Durango?
And you
Grand
broke down
Junction.
about halfway.
Yeah, I did, and I hitchhiked home, and I left my car.
Wow. Yeah.
It's like, fuck that car.
Yeah, that was 15 years ago. You guys are getting a way mellowed out version of me, so I hope you appreciate it.
What?
I love you either way.
Yeah, exactly. I
no,
love
you
wild.
wouldn't love that one.
I miss Crackhead Callie.
Dude.
Crackhead Callie was a real
Is that
fucking mess.
No, yeah, I'm
Yeah.
I
glad.
bet you were a
yeah.
pain in the
Yeah.
ass to be a
I
friend
agree.
with.
I
It's
much
fun
prefer
for
this.
stories.
I much prefer this
It's
than a
funny for
crackhead.
stories, but you would
I
have been
thought
like,
you
damn,
meant
fuck
something.
this
Yeah.
bitch.
Yeah, no, exactly. I would be like that.
I would
yeah.
trust
Yeah.
you less. I feel like I trust you a lot.
Yeah.
But,
I
like,
mean,
Crackhead
I'm
Callie seems
trustworthy.
like a
Well,
wild card.
Well, crackheads
Well, it's the
suck.
same with
Tweakers suck.
And I was a
You know what
meth
I'm
head,
saying?
dude.
Yeah,
I was meth head
that's-
Dave. So
It wasn't crack, it was tweak. I just didn't want to say meth because it sounds trashier.
wait, is that what you were
Yeah.
into for a while
Yeah,
too?
for sure.
Yeah, me too.
Ignacio,
That, and
yeah.
then
Yeah.
and then the other one, the other opposite
Oh,
for a
yeah.
year, for a long
Thank
time.
God I didn't do that.
There's definitely times where I was like, I want to get high. It doesn't really matter what it is.
Yeah.
And then I would see my neighbor for like 4 days in the garage, just 24 hours a day. He would
Tweaking
take
out.
apart his whole car
Yeah.
engine
Oh,
and
Lord.
paint every piece individually and put it back.
Yeah.
I mean, I definitely always hated tweakers, even when I was a
They're
tweaker.
sketchy.
I know, same.
They're terrible. Yeah.
Can you
Like,
imagine selling that?
They like show up at
There's
your
no
house at
hours
7 in
off.
the morning. You're like, get
I
the
know
fuck
it.
out of here.
Yeah, they
Dude,
know where you
it's-
live. They're going to show up when they run out of drugs.
Yeah, dude, I don't know if I've ever talked about this on this podcast, but like in our neighborhood, which was like, and at this point, it's like this is a suburb of Atlanta, but even just a random suburb, dude, there was, like a round me and my friends would make. We'd start at my buddy's house, and then like we'd have to just walk to the end of his street. There was a guy that sold it right there, and that we did it with all the time. Then just walk around the long way, and then hit up. I mean, I know their names. I'm not going to
Just
say
different
their
garages.
names. Literally.
Yeah,
like,
I bet.
I'm talking
That's
like
where drugs are done.
but like 4 or 5 different houses where you could buy meth in like a
The
circumference
cul-de-sac.
of almost. I mean,
Yeah.
like not exactly. Like it was more of like a
a
quarter
block.
quarter mile
Yeah.
radius, you know. But like in just a random suburb, in a random neighborhood in a random suburb,
Yeah.
just north of Atlanta, like it was that readily available. So like we would just tweak out all night and just walk around our friend's house, you know, like
Yeah.
Have these crazy conversations.
yeah, of course, dude. And one of them, like this one always bothered me the most. Like this kid would just like he had this big shabong, and dude, we would just smoke meth in front of his like 4-year-old, and I still
Oy.
feel really bad about that.
Now,
to
smoking
this
weed
day.
in front of a kid, it's not great. It's best to do it outside if it's going to happen.
There
If the
wa-
kid's been explained
yeah.
to you, but meth is a different level.
Yeah, and a 4-year-old.
There was
dude,
like a pregnant lady.
Yeah,
that-
where they really
There was like
are
a pregnant girl
understanding
used
things.
to show
I
up
don't
to
know.
the fucking dope man's house.
Pregnant girl.
Yeah. And I was like, and she was like wearing maternity clothes and shit.
And there's
buying
nowhere to
dope.
hide in
And I was
Ignacio.
like, what the? Well, that was in Grand Junction because Grand Junction's
Grand
awful
Junction's-
like that.
It's like Farmington.
They call it Spun Junction. It's on the freeway. There's a lot of
Yeah.
dope.
Somebody
don't.
was
It's
just
like a
telling us
really
about that.
shitty
I'll talk
Farmington.
Was
shit
it
about
Chad?
Grand Junction. I don't love it over there. It's fucking nasty.
No, I hated it. I was there for 2 days, and I
Yeah,
was like,
it's
"Ew."
gross.
Okay, cool. I'm glad I've never been.
Yeah, it's
I'm
gross.
not
But
going.
it's like the cul-de-sac was
Yeah,
like dope
yeah.
head, not a dope head, dope head, dope head, dope
Yeah.
head, not a dope head. Like,
Feel
Yeah.
bad for the fucker that lives in between them.
Oh man.
yeah, me
Oh,
too.
yeah.
But it wasn't me because I was a dope head.
Hell yeah.
Oh God.
Yeah, dude.
That junction seems like a great place to just
No, it's
do
not.
drugs.
Yeah.
And die.
Yeah.
Yep.
It's like the worst part of Colorado. It's really not
Pretty
good. It's
bad.
like the
Damn.
desert.
It's like,
With the-
yeah, it's up there with Pueblo, Cortez.
Pueblo, I guess, is
Pueblo's probably worse than Junction.
Yeah.
It's definitely worse than Junction.
It's more crime-ridden.
It's more
Yeah.
murders, yeah.
Jesus.
it's like a cartel checkpoint or something.
But they're similar. It's
Kinda like
it's
Bloomfield.
like the real low
Uh-huh.
elevation parts of Colorado.
Uh-huh.
They're the bad ones.
Wait, Grand Junction's low
Because they're
elevation?
dry and cheap to live
I know.
in.
No, I don't know. Pueblo is. I don't know how
Yeah,
low
Pueblo
Junction
is. I know.
Pueblo, yeah. Never get a great feeling driving through Pueblo.
I've
I
only
never
driven.
stop.
I've only driven by on the highway
Yeah.
on 25
You don't stop.
past Pueblo, but it was at night. I mean, I wouldn't have stopped there anyway. But I didn't even know it was a shithole like that.
Well,
It's got a reputation.
Or is it not a shithole, but just real bad crime?
it
Or-
is. I mean,
They usually go
it's-
hand
They-
in
yeah, I was
hand.
about to say. Yeah.
It's low. It's like deserty, dry.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. Like
So
it's
not a lot of
it's
resources, a lot of desperate folk.
It's not like real pretty parts of Colorado, you know.
Yeah.
yeah.
Fuck that place.
It's like a real big
Fuck
Ignacio.
Pueblo. My family like homesteaded there and is buried there. But yeah, fuck them.
Tell
If we're gonna talk shit about somebody, might as well be
Nah.
our own families.
No. It's it's weird. And Cortez. Cortez is beautiful. Pueblo's not beautiful. Or Cortez is beautiful, but it fucking sucks.
Cortez has a real methy vibe about it.
Yeah.
Sure does, dude. I got that when we went to Phoenix the last time, dude.
Just
Oh,
yeah,
yeah.
just
Because we
driving
stopped
through.
at that gas station and I was like, yep.
Well, even
Like, what's
Bubba
going
was
on here?
like, Durango's beautiful, but Cortez, yeah.
Yeah.
It's like, yeah, don't live
What's
there.
Ignacio like? Is Ignacio like Cortez? Because in
I
my
mean-
mind,
It's
I feel
smaller.
like they would be the same.
Well, yeah, Cortez is kind of like the big Ignacio.
Okay.
Ignacio's a lot of old
Ignacio's
people,
tiny.
but the young people are
Is
doing crazy shit.
that where the
Um,
casino is too?
Yeah, the casino's there. But, I mean, Ignacio's unique. It's very tiny. But the tribe out there is really rich.
Yeah.
But it's like rolling farmland.
That sounds like a good TV show, dude. Like
I
want to
write all kinds of stories about Ignacio.
Yeah.
You could basically just shoot a show in the gas station at Ignacio. Like everybody comes in, they drink their coffee together and shit.
But like having like the casino is one of the only things to do for the locals, and then that's making these people even richer, and they're already rich. I don't know.
I'm not gonna talk shit about Ignacio.
No, the Utes will shut this podcast down.
No,
Why?
I mean.
They're powerful, man.
I know
that
I'm a
powerful?
white girl and everything,
Shit.
but I grew up out there and like that's my tribe. So
No,
I
I'm not talking. I
Callie's
think it's
full-blood Ute.
I'm
no,
thinking like
I got
it's
a lot of homies out
think
there.
it's an
I
interesting.
have a lot of friends out there and family and
No,
shit.
I love
so
the people I see out there regularly. Like, there's
It's
this
just,
burrito stand.
Yeah,
Love
I'm not
those
talking
people.
shit.
No.
I think it's an interesting idea for
Yeah.
a show. That's all. It seems interesting.
I fucking love Ignacio. I don't give a fuck. It's like rolling farmland.
I drive through there every day,
All my
and
friends
it's
are buried out
the
there.
worst.
My grandma lives there.
Oh, are
I
they
used-
buried out in the cemetery?
I
The
grew
cemetery
up-
is beautiful.
I grew up next to the teepee lounge.
Dude,
Damn.
I saw Joan Jett one year for the bike rally. Joan Jett, I was
The
there.
bike rally.
Yeah, and
Oh
then
my
we spent the
God.
night walking back and forth between sidekicks and the teepee lounge, and almost got into 20 fights.
A million
Like
fights.
it almost happened every fucking
Fuck
5-10
yeah.
minutes, and there was 4 of us, and we were all hammered.
Dude.
IGNACIO.
And one kid, yeah, it was.
We
fucked
should
up.
write a show. We should write a show.
Oh, I always wanted to. For
Me
sure.
too.
It's weird out there.
It's super weird.
Well, it's weird out there. My kids, when they were little, well, we always drive through and shit, and then we'd be like, take me to that town you grew up in, and that's all haunted. I was like, what? Okay.
Have
It
you been
kinda
to the
is
barbecue
haunted.
joint out there?
They do have a barbecue joint
you
out
been there?
there. No, I have not, because I'm like, what? The patio's gone?
The patio was not awesome.
The patio was a fucking Ignacio institution.
It really was. I went there as a kid. Like,
We
we'd
used
go
to
to
go
Navajo
there-
Lake and then go to
Yeah.
Ignacio, eat at the patio,
Yeah,
and then go back to
It's an
Parmenter.
institution. You went there for lunch at high school.
Yeah.
They had a lot of
They
pies.
serve booze?
They got waitresses with fat asses. No.
Yeah, they did. Or when I was growing up.
The patio?
Yeah.
I don't know.
I went there because I could drink beer at lunch. and
Well,
then, yeah,
I'm
I
like,
almost
what,
fucked 2 of the
13
waitresses.
years older than you? Yeah, I'm like, they got waitresses with fat asses.
They do. It's
They got
true.
green chili on everything. Fucking, it's the best greasy. It was like the best greasy spoon in the fucking county, probably.
That's what it was. It was a greasy spoon.
Yeah.
But and you could call in.
And
so
now
if you're
it's
just
gone.
driving by, it was convenient.
And so, it's different. I don't really love barbecue joints as it is. That's not like my thing,
Yeah.
What?
I don't.
That's okay.
I just don't love them. It's not my thing.
Yeah,
Fair enough.
it's okay. I
Fair
don't know.
enough.
I'm not. I haven't
You're
been
not
there.
a big barbecue guy?
I'd
either?
rather
okay.
go to like a
Have you been-
tacos.
Yeah.
I'm more like a taco or a pizza person.
Have either of y'all eaten at T's in town?
Yeah.
Tease isn't bad. I've only been there a couple times.
T's is
though.
the only good barbecue I think there is
Well,
in
I
town.
like it because they have fried pickles.
Yeah, but everything's so
Yeah.
sugary. Like barbecue
That's
is
barbecue
sugar.
is
Yeah, I know.
sugar,
That's why I
yeah.
don't eat it a lot because
That's why it's so
because
delicious.
it just. I don't know. When I'm gonna eat meat, I try to not just make it the worst you possibly can for yourself.
No, dude, you got to treat yourself to barbecue. You can't eat it every
Treat
day.
yourself.
Can't. I mean, dude, no, we don't eat that shit regularly.
Right.
But it's like if it's a day where we're like,
I mean,
not
maybe
trying to eat
if
healthy.
I was like I look at like Atlanta barbecue and shit like that is different than out here.
It
got,
really
It's way
is,
different.
yeah.
But
You
that's,
got, like,
that's why
T's
that's why I
and
like
fucking
T's.
this.
T's is like Louisiana style.
Yeah.
We're Georgia, but like it's similar enough.
Yeah.
And by the way, fuck, I might actually like Louisiana food more than fucking Georgian food, which
Well,
I know.
duh. Everybody
But if
knows
I was,
that, but I was trying to
if
be
I
nice
was
to you.
in the South, if I was in the South, I would definitely eat some barbecue, and I would
Oh,
eat some
yeah.
fucking.
I mean, dude, we got great
know.
barbecue in Georgia. I'm not
Dude,
talking shit.
everything in Louisiana
the
just
variety-
tastes better.
the
It's not- it
variety
doesn't
of
make
Louisiana.
sense.
I think my favorite
It's like
Southern
something.
food is
It's
hot
like
chicken.
something in the fucking air or something that gets
No,
into
there's
their
just-
shit.
There's so much. Like, there's just so many
So
options, dude. And they're all really good and really bad for you.
And a lot
Yeah,
of shit
awful.
says
You
that.
can't eat it
Terrible.
often, but yeah, when I do, like, T's is the closest I can get to home. It's delicious.
Okay. I like to make it at. I'm a fucking good cook. So
Are you?
I'll just make it at home.
Though.
Yeah.
Oh, fuck yeah.
Yeah, I fucking make
Well,
a
that's
lot
even
of
better.
stuff. Yeah. So if I was gonna do barbecue or whatever, I would just burn it up at home.
Yeah.
Make it all badass.
I'm not that great of a cook. Luckily, Kelly is. I'm good at grilling
good.
shit. I can definitely supply the protein, but I'm mostly just too lazy to cook a lot of vegetables.
I could definitely supply the protein.
Yeah, I'm a piece of shit, Kelly. We established this earlier.
Holy shit. You sounded like this is a serial killer from Silence of the Lambs, dude.
Put the lotion in the basket. Supply the protein.
Supply the protein.
Put the lotion in the basket.
What are we
my
drinking,
God.
Dave?
This is called Sultan of Stoke. It's a Steamworks made hazy, juicy IPA.
Delicious.
Good. Glad you like it. It's my favorite beer we have there.
It's
Nice.
good.
It's like
Yeah, it
6.1%.
It is really good.
It's pretty tasty.
Yeah, I like hazies. They might be my favorite, like
Like
craft
IPA.
beer.
Oh, really?
So,
yeah, they are.
um,
I like reds.
The guy that purchases Bud Light really doesn't have opinion on beer now.
Whatever.
Okay.
That's fine.
Oh shit, dude. She won't let you live that down.
I don't
son.
drink it in public. I drink it because I drink a lot of booze or a lot of
Can't you
beer, so
figure out
it
a
doesn't get me
different
fucked up.
beer?
No, once somebody goes to a light beer, that's an alcoholic move. Because it's cheap and you get a lot of it,
No, it's
and you can just drink it all day.
You could just go to lager. You don't gotta go light.
I don't like lager that much.
Well,
For
you like-
whatever reason, I just
Well, you like reds,
This
right?
is a
love
light
reds.
lager.
Red is an
yeah, but I get drunk too fast. That's the problem. I just
What do you
get
mean?
drunk too fast when I drink reds.
Well, can't
Like
you
if
just...
I drink 8
Okay,
pinstripes, I'm gonna
listen.
be fucked
If
up.
you don't
Yeah.
want to get drunk, can't you just drink soda pop? And then if you
Oh,
want to get
soda's
drunk,
terrible
drink
for
real
you.
beer.
Yeah, grow up, Brian.
I have no impulse control, Callie. Once I have one, I can't
Listen.
stop myself.
yeah,
I'm
no
sorry.
shit.
Oh yeah.
No, I'm great as long as I can postpone that first drink of anything, you know?
Right.
Yeah.
Till whenever I take that first drink, that's like green light, and
Yeah.
I know.
my impulse takes
I was
over.
already-
I
I was
totally
already like,
understand that,
mhm.
dude.
Like when I'm in
Totally.
public and I have 2 drinks, I kind of got to go home because I have to leave
You
before I
want more?
drink more.
Yeah, yeah.
Well, yeah, I don't even do the 2 drinks, and that's why I don't drink at a lot of mics and shit. It's because like I'm either like in or out.
But I'm there, yeah, but I'm there for
Yeah.
like 2 hours. I'm there before almost everybody, and I'm usually
I don't give
leaving
a
at
fuck
the
how
end.
long you're there. Okay.
2 hours, 2 beers, Callie. That's my math.
That's actual
2
correct
hours.
math.
That's good.
For
I do that
5%.
math sometimes, but sometimes when I know I'm a little bitch that's not gonna abide my own rules,
Well,
I
I
don't
live-
play games.
I live right by the
That's
cop
what you
shop.
call a cab, dude. Whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Who
I live
cares?
right by the cop shop. Like, there's a cop. I drive by a cop every fucking
Oh,
night
I'm
on my
not
way
saying
home.
drunk
Yeah. At
drive.
least,
I'm
yeah.
not encouraging drinking.
Yeah, but I'm not gonna leave my car in town. What am I fucking
Well, I used to-
trash?
Left my
What?
Just
What?
That's a smart move,
I'm just
dude.
kidding.
I've left my car a bajillion times.
A Bill Jillian.
It's just,
a fucking bajillion.
I guess
bro.
now that I have a girlfriend that pretty much lives here, it's easier to get a ride to my car. But
this guy, he's
it's
like,
not always easy.
yeah, I have a girlfriend. Yeah, I go to the gym. Nobody cares.
I haven't been to the gym in months, Callie.
Dude,
I'm
this
sorry.
beer did something to Callie, dude. She hates you now.
No, it's her
I
natural state.
I
I wasn't
don't-
prepared for this.
I don't hate you. I love
I
you
know, I'm
guys,
just
and I
kidding.
miss you. And this is how I show my love.
I know.
Yeah.
That's why my kids are gonna need so much therapy.
Yeah, dude, you
Like,
should. They
yeah.
should. Your kids should listen to this so they see how cool you are.
Eh.
And then they're
I
still
don't
gonna
think it's
say,
gonna
No,
change their
oh,
mind.
I
God.
know, and then they're still gonna say you
No,
embarrass
the
them.
thing. No, they don't think I'm cool. Doesn't matter what I do. It doesn't matter if their friends think I'm cool. It doesn't matter none of that. They're like, yeah, okay, oh my fucking god, I don't care.
At least you understand that, dude.
It's funny, but I'm
Like,
like,
that's a
no,
healthy thing.
it comes to the point where I'm like, this is who I am. You don't get to tell me I'm annoying all fucking day. It's like who I fucking am. So yeah,
Yeah, do you
I'm
wanna eat,
annoying.
bitch?
I get
Yeah,
it.
I pay the bills.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
No, I'm
Don't
like,
bite
You
the
want some
hand
fucking
that
oh,
feeds.
bacon
no,
or
I'm
not?
already like, you think you can pay these bills around here?
It's harder than it looks.
Does your oldest work?
She did before the pandemic.
Okay.
So now I'm on unemployment. I'm making kind of an average of what I normally make.
Yeah.
Cool.
That's same
So
what I was
it's not
doing,
terrible.
but I just started back at Steam, so
And yeah, I mean, I'll go back to work when the shit ends up, but we're okay. And then she was working at the bagel shop, and he was trying to be like, kind of like he didn't give a shit about the pandemic. And I was like, nah, you could just stay home. You know,
Yeah.
she can get another job.
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. That's fucked up.
But
At Durango Bagel?
she worked there for like 2 years or something. Yeah.
Wait, with Baumforth?
Yeah.
She works at Baumforth?
Yeah. He tried to like be in. Well, what's funny is first she came home and she's like, Mom, there's this guy and he's like has these like weird tattoo sleeves and like he always goes outside to smoke weed and then he just talks about all these conspiracy theories. He's a fucking weirdo. I think he was in prison and like.
You're like,
And
I know
then-
that guy.
And then
Dude, your daughter's got to come on next time,
and then
dude.
later on, I was like, "Oh, Baumforth, it's fucking Jason." Like I didn't know. I
Yeah.
had no idea that he worked
Yeah.
there. So that's pretty funny. But and
it's
then
hilarious.
he didn't want to admit that he works with my daughter because she's a hot 17-year-old. So no respectable man is gonna be like, "I know who your daughter is," because they don't want to sound like a pervert.
Yeah.
And I
100%.
respect him for
And
that.
he's a respectable
Yeah,
guy.
that's good.
Yeah.
He really
Yeah.
is a good dude.
No,
He's
he
a
really is
great
a good
dude.
Yeah, he's great. But so yeah, people are like, "I didn't notice your daughter." I'm
Yeah.
like, "Bitch, yeah, you did."
Yeah.
I thought about hitting up
That's
Jason for
hilarious.
today's podcast, but
Wait, say
people
that
are.
again?
I thought about hitting up Jason for today's podcast, but I've already had enough people talking shit about
How many people's here?
social distancing. Yeah,
Oh, yeah, dude. Whatever.
We're 6 feet apart.
I always say we're in an orgy group together. Don't worry about it.
Collectively, we are 6 feet. It's like 2, 2, and 2. You know?
We're fine.
6 foot triangle conspiracy.
Yeah, we all got tested.
I don't know.
Yeah.
God damn it.
I did get tested, and I'm about to go get tested again.
Yeah, and if Dave's fine, I'm fine for sure.
I'm pretty low risk.
Low risk.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because you've been with just your kids.
I've been home a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah. I only like go to the store and shit.
Have you been exercising, Dave?
Don't
Yeah.
ask me, bitch, because I'm fat.
Well,
Asshole.
you've been hiking. You've been hiking
I go
and
outside
outdoors.
and shit. Yeah.
I already got
I
that
try to go
answer.
Yeah,
outside.
but remember how I said, like, the first 3 days of my first 4 days back?
And when did that start?
3
days ago?
It started 5 days ago.
There you go.
So
you've been
one
cool
of
the
those
last 2 days?
yeah, I've been cool the last 2 days, but I still did not hike. And for the first 3 days, I was basically drunk, you know, and then I didn't do anything. So yeah,
I've been drunk for like
I'm
7
a
weeks.
little out of practice
Crazy.
with the hiking.
You don't
but-
even do no calisthenics or nothing?
Oh, I've been working out.
Okay,
yeah.
you're fine.
Yeah.
You do your
I throw a
little
kettlebell
fitness.
around. Yeah.
I was going to
Yeah.
the gym and shit, and then I was like, yeah.
Well, once the gym closed, it was pretty
It
fucking
sucked.
tough. But I have
Yeah.
kettlebells and
So I
shit.
run
I got like
around.
15-pound dumbbells, or not dumbbells. Well, they're like free weights.
Yeah.
They're smart bells.
Okay, podcast over. I can't talk to this person.
I would rather have her than you, so you can let yourself out anytime.
All right, that's it.
I see you all the time. This is special.
Oh, that's hilarious.
But yeah, and I've been doing
Oh,
a
dude.
shitload of manual labor, just
Yeah.
fucking.
Well, it's getting warm out here. Dude.
Yeah.
It's Colorado, so like, go out fucking
Yeah, Dave
outside.
did
Yeah.
manual labor with me for a whole day. Well, 4
Well,
hours.
It was a half a day.
Half a day.
More like, but yeah, but it was,
I
dude,
exaggerate.
but it was fucking, it was work.
A lot of work.
It was work, dude. Yeah. We relocated.
We
It
didn't
was
do that much work.
We did too. We
Oh.
relocated like a fucking giant trailer full of soil.
Yeah, and that's satisfying because you're like, the soil was here and now it's there.
Yeah, and it
Exactly.
was
Yeah.
a lot of it
Yeah,
too. So yeah, that
No,
was
I
work.
love working
Redneck
outside.
shit.
Like, if bartending's not a thing anymore because of this fucking pandemic, I'll
Oh,
fucking be a
man.
forklift bitch. I don't give a fuck.
Me
I'll be
too.
like,
Yeah, you can
Forklifts
do
are
it.
awesome. Yeah.
Forklifts
I
are-
love tractors.
Yeah,
I'll drive
no.
a tractor anywhere.
No, I've always thought that. I was like, I don't fucking run one of them things.
Dude, if there's a
Yeah.
tractor,
Yeah.
there's somebody with a shovel, and I will always be the guy with the tractor,
Yeah,
right.
dude.
Well,
preferably.
Absolutely.
And I have a lot of
I mean,
experience, and
I
I'm
don't care.
damn good at it.
Yeah, yeah.
I'll move
Even
some
my
dirt.
boss is like, "You do it,"
I'll go to tractor.
and he uses the shovel, which is awesome.
Is there
Dude,
a restroom here? Are you
Yeah.
supposed to say that on a
Right,
podcast?
yeah, we
Let's
can
so
just.
let's take a
embarrassing.
You want to
break.
take a quick break?
Let's
Oh my
take-
god, embarrassing.
All right, we're gonna take a
Kelly's
quick
so
break.
I'm gonna smoke a
embarrassing.
cig.
We'll be right back. I love your laugh.
Fair.
Yeah. This is true.
That's mouth swabs are how they do drug tests, I think. Maybe not COVID tests, I guess.
I guess not.
They put it all the way in the back of your nose.
Oh yeah. like all the way to your throat.
How was that?
Oh, you
It
had
was
it?
yeah. It was only like a second and a half, so I don't understand why everybody bitches about it. To be honest, like yeah, it's a little.
It's uncomfortable for a
Yeah,
second.
but
Yeah.
literally 1 second.
Yeah. That's what I figured. Like, yes, it's terrible, but it's over pretty quick.
It's not
Yeah.
that bad.
Have you ever had a test for like a STD test?
Mm-mm.
What?
No, I haven't.
He's been with Kat for a long time.
He's all nope.
Yeah, but but like when I was in jail, they said they were taking a.
You were with a girl that used to pee on Mexicans.
Yeah, I know, but no, I guess I have been tested, but it was always blood test.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah, I pissed in a cup. I never had a swab.
Okay, I never had a swab either, not for an STD.
I hear it's not
any
great.
STD test I ever had was blood.
Dude, when you're a girl, they stick their finger up your butthole.
What?
Open up your snatch, put it inside. They're like, can I feel it from the top? Oh, yeah. See, I'm touching it from your belly button now. You're like,
And
get
then-
the fuck out.
And
Are
then
you serious?
Yes, I'm serious.
Jesus.
And then you come in their face.
No.
Oh no.
They're always white.
Clinical.
Clinical cum.
I don't come for white boys. Okay. Just kidding. I have, unfortunately.
Unfortunately.
We're gonna
Jesus.
say
Just
there's some
kidding.
pretty good evidence
I'm
that that's
just kidding.
not true.
It's a lie.
Yeah, I was just kidding.
Anyways, I didn't mean it. Yep.
Yeah, you did.
When did you
it.
guys
Yep.
lose your virginity?
15.
I think I was 16.
Last summer.
You have a 17-year-old, Callie.
Yeah, I was 15,
Interesting.
which was a late bloomer.
Was it an interesting story or was it just awkward? Like were you by a
No.
lake in a pickup truck?
No,
Because I was.
Me and my other 15-year-old best friend were sitting for her aunt in Bayfield,
It's very sexy.
and some random like older dudes that I think were like 20 came over and got us really drunk, and then we like had weird sex.
That's kind of a sad story.
Yeah.
It's not a happy
So,
story.
Yeah.
no.
Sorry, Callie.
Sorry.
Sorry to bring it up.
I'm all yeah.
I just
mean-
realized I was.
We were not in love.
I was
There was no rose petals and shit.
See, I
There's-
had the
there's no rose
opposite.
petals.
I had the opposite.
You had rose petals?
I was 16. I mean, basically, dude, like I was in love for the first time, dude, and
Cool,
we
man.
didn't have sex for like the first 7 months we were together. It took 7 months, you know, but it was my first serious
Wow.
girlfriend, and so
Aw.
yeah. And
That's
then we
adorable.
did actually have sex in a pickup truck, not by a lake, but by a soccer field. But that wasn't the first time. But still, like, that
At some
did
point.
happen.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
fucked in a Jeep by a skate park once.
it sounds like a good album title.
Yeah, I had a Jeep with just blacked out windows in Cherokee.
Oh,
Yeah.
Fucked in the back.
That's
Would have been
hell
cooler if it was a Wrangler.
Yeah, there
Once
was a lot
again,
of,
Callie's correct.
yeah, there was kids around and shit. It was awkward.
Yeah.
But I was so horny, and I just got out of jail.
Hey, that just
Yeah,
got
makes
out of
sense.
jail dick is like the best dick. Trust me.
She was into it. She was willing to fuck in the
Just
parking
got
lot
out
of a
of
skate
prison
park.
is even better.
Yeah, I bet.
Oh, that's funny.
Yeah, I was there for less than a month, so it wasn't like a long-term thing.
Years
I can't
years
imagine
of
that 2
pent-up
years,
stroking.
dick. That
What about that 20?
I don't know.
I don't know.
You're gonna
Those
come-
dudes are. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't
20-year
know.
dick.
I go like with the 2 or 3 dude. The 20-year dude.
Yeah.
He probably got his dick wet.
Five
some other
max.
way.
Yeah, I was gonna
Yeah.
say. Dude. Yeah, you're
3
not.
to 5
You're
max.
not. You're not. If a 20-year dude, you're not his first in
2
20
or
years.
3 years. That's like prime.
Not long enough to really go off the other end. Once you get that life sentence, you're like, well,
Fuck it.
It's
a
warm.
hole.
Yeah.
Yeah.
ah,
Oh man.
that prison dick.
PD baby.
Oh my
Get
god.
that PD. What up, girl? I
I'm
got
gonna put that on
PD.
my Tinder profile. I'm looking for that prison dick.
You'll find it.
I fucking would like to.
Probably just have to go home. Probably have
Right.
to go back to Ignacio to get it.
That's true. No, I wish that I had found a boyfriend in Ignacio, but no, I didn't.
They're all married at 18, and then they get a plot of land, and
They're like all fucking their cousins.
well, there's not
kidding.
another hole for
Just
miles.
kidding. That's a country thing. Okay. No.
Yeah,
They
yep,
won't
you're
listen.
not kidding.
You don't fuck a sheep because you want to fuck a sheep. You fuck a sheep because it's this tall and no one's looking.
Yeah. That's hilarious. I don't know if you just came up with that.
I didn't write it.
Okay.
I don't know where it came from. I don't think it
That's
was.
funny. That's
Might have
funny
been
as
Joe
fuck.
Rogan. I don't know.
That's hilarious.
I've never fucked a sheep.
Convince Callie, because she does
I
not
feel
look
like you
convinced.
have now. No, just kidding.
There was no such thing as privacy. We lived in the middle of nowhere, but one of my siblings or a parent was always gonna sneak up on you at some point. Like
Right.
there was never an
Right.
experience you went and did a job and nobody showed up. You know,
Mhm.
like somebody was always looking. So I never took
feel
that
you.
next step.
I mean, that's how it is
Yeah.
at my house now. And like, my kids are home from school and shit, and for quarantine, and like, I haven't been able to masturbate in like 2 months.
Oh shit!
I'm not even kidding. How I
Because,
told
like you said, you do
I
everything
can't
loud.
do nothing quiet.
You
So
do-
I'm like, so can you guys like go for a walk, nature walk up the road? Yeah.
Go
I'm like-
ride dirt bikes.
I'm
and
like,
jet
I
skis.
need about 9.5 minutes, like just to get like set up and shit. You know, like I'm not trying to fucking.
Damn,
But
Callie.
they won't leave.
Yeah,
It's terrible.
Fucking
Terrible.
pussy bloggers.
yeah. That's how I feel having this German Shepherd in the
Life
house. The
ruiners.
motherfucker never goes away. Like he
Yeah.
follows me everywhere. Shiva doesn't give a fuck. So
Oh,
she'll
really?
sleep in here. Yeah, she doesn't care.
Yeah.
But this
She-
fucker follows me everywhere. If I want to jerk off, I gotta lock him out, and he's like,
the whole time, yeah, dude.
it's hard
I-
to jerk off under those circumstances.
the
Well,
one-
you
he's
gotta
the
put the
whiner.
dogs outside. I just can't put the kids outside.
Well, he jumps the fence sometimes, like, so
oh,
Does he really?
yeah.
He's a bad boy. You gotta
Oh,
watch
He's a
him.
pain in the ass. I
Yeah.
haven't figured it out yet.
Mm.
We're still working on it.
I
It's
don't
new.
know. Some dogs are just bad,
You got that right.
like mine.
I feel the same way. Well, Shiva
Like
hurt
they're
her hip.
really sweet, but they'll be naughty, and I'm like, yeah, they're
Yeah.
dicks. Totally, they're embarrassing me.
Yeah, she's
Like
a
we
cunt.
were at
Look
the
her.
lake, and they like, my dog went to someone else's camp, and I'm like screaming for him, and he's just like ignoring me. Like I was like humiliated.
No, my dog does that. No, she does that to me too, and it pisses
I was
me
like,
Yeah.
fuck you, bro. Like,
Yeah.
all I've done for you.
Yeah.
Like, it was
off. I brought you to the
terrible.
lake, bitch.
Oh yeah,
I
you're
could have
here.
left you home.
He's a little fucker, but I
Spoiled.
do love. Oh, he's the worst. He's so spoiled.
Yeah.
They both are. They're really bad. But whatever. They're just dogs.
Yeah.
And they're my friends, so why not be nice to them?
That's what I'm saying.
Fucking
I
A.
never want my dog to be scared of me.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like and yeah, my dogs are like up on couches and beds and chairs and
Yeah, I have friends that are like, my dog's gonna know who's fucking boss, and it's like, that's not really how I raise
Yeah.
a dog. Like,
Yeah.
I don't ever want her to see me coming and be worried. Like,
Yeah.
I want her to be
well,
pumped.
and then
Yeah, yeah, exactly.
dogs are sensitive, so if you like do that to them, they're anxious all the time.
Especially her. Yeah, pit bulls.
yeah.
That's how you make a mean dog that's scared and bites people and
Sketch.
shit.
Mm-hmm.
I
But
want a sketch dog.
when she sees people, she's like,
No,
oh
she is
shit.
sweet.
Like,
Yeah.
she's pumped.
Yeah.
She's
That's
the
nice.
sweetest.
Because she's treated like a princess.
Dogs are the best.
I do like dogs. Me and this one have butted heads, but we're getting there.
Yeah. You're having like a little pissing contest because you know she probably loves him more than she loves you.
No, I have no problem with that. It's just I pay the bills.
Are
you
you
don't bark
sure?
at me in my house kind of thing.
He barks at you?
Well, if I'm like tickling Kelly or something. If I'm tickling Kelly or something, he gets real defensive. Like,
Really? Well, good. That's what he's supposed to do.
I know, but when he barks in my face, I'm like, hey, bitch.
Yeah.
He's all when I'm tickling Kelly and like punch her in the face.
Yeah, when I'm kicking the shit out of my girlfriend, he barks at me. It's weird. She's like 100 pounds. Yeah, I can just whoop her ass.
Jesus fucking
No, she works at a
Christ.
bank. Can't leave marks on that girl. Then she'd murder me in my sleep for sure.
Oh yeah, definitely,
Ginger's
dude.
bruise hella easy.
Yeah, if I
Like
hit her or something, I would die that night in my sleep.
yeah.
Anyways,
She has a knife in
I'm
her
sure
pocket
he's a
at
good
all
boy.
times.
Be nice to her dog.
He
Well, I'm
he
very
is
nice
a
to her.
good boy.
I've never.
Yeah.
The only time I've thought about whooping his ass a little bit's when he jumps the fence, because I'm just like,
Oh.
God damn it, man, you can't do
Mhm.
that. Like,
Yeah.
especially in the middle of the night, like
Yeah.
sees a deer and just bails over the fence.
Uh-huh.
Like,
Yeah.
God damn it, man.
Yeah. You
My
can't
dog
even let him
jukes
out.
me out like he should be a football player.
Yeah.
Like, he'll be like sitting there and I'm like go to reach for him and he's like
Yeah.
Like straight up. It's the worst. And one time he juked me out, jumped in the river, swam downstream, looked over his shoulder, and he was like, "Fuck you, bitch." It was awful. And that day, I got really angry, and I wasn't proud of myself.
What'd you do?
I didn't do nothing.
Lit him on fire.
I didn't do nothing. It was just like the rage I felt.
Yeah. Yeah.
I didn't do nothing. I should
All
have.
right. Okay.
Because he's still bad. No, I was just like, get over here. You know, like that
Yeah.
when you're
Yeah.
just like, this
Fuck.
motherfucker.
Not
'Cause-
listening.
Yeah. It's
Yeah.
bad. But now, now when he runs away like that, I'm just like,
Good luck, bitch.
fine, fuck you. Get out of here. I don't fucking need you anyway. See?
Yeah, dude.
And then he comes home eventually.
Gets hungry.
He's like, oh, yeah. Hmm.
I was gonna say, dude, he doesn't realize that just saves you money if he just stays away.
Yeah, but I love him. And he knows that.
Yeah. I
Yeah,
know.
he's my little baby.
He'll come back.
The kids are like,
Yeah, and where you live now, there's mountain lions and shit. There's real
Oh, yeah.
wilderness out there.
oh yeah, and ticks.
Oh,
I've done
fuck
every
all
I've
that.
done every tick treatment, and they still come home with ticks.
Damn.
And I'm just like happy it's not cancer, because if one of them gets a tumor, I'm gonna fucking kill him, because that shit's gross.
It's disgusting.
Oh god, but
Best
the ticks are
guest ever.
nasty.
Oh yeah.
I learned how to pull out
Oh,
ticks.
my
I'm
God.
great at it now. I'm like a tick professional. But
I'm not into ticks. That's why I'm never gonna live in like Indiana.
like
I'm
it.
not interested in the like
Anywhere
anywhere.
oh, the
sucks.
extra bugs.
Yeah.
Anywhere there's extra bugs.
yeah,
like,
the east where there's
Atlanta's
forest
extra
and
bugs,
shit.
right?
There's a lot of bugs in Georgia,
Compared
yeah,
to here?
especially outside
Or
Atlanta
Georgia,
more so,
yeah.
Uh-huh.
But the ticks
The
are gonna
South
be
in general.
Yeah.
Yeah.
in the trees usually.
We're pretty
Yeah.
spoiled here. We don't have like.
That's why I love the
them
Southwest. It's
hardcores.
dry. It's a dry heat.
it's
Yeah.
I can
nice.
dig it, man.
Yeah. It's
Humidity sucks
so
dick.
nice here, dude.
Yeah, it really. This is the most
It is
beautiful
really
climate
nice.
I've ever lived in. When it's 85, you're like, God damn, it's a hot day.
Yeah.
But you're also high elevation, yeah.
Dude, yeah, we got
feel the
wind
sun.
always coming through. The breeze.
That's the best part.
Yeah, the breeze nice, and then just the dryness like makes it. Yeah, it's totally bearable. 85 with humidity is
Sucks.
gets pretty bad, dude. Yeah.
Sucks.
Don't you guys get used to it though?
No,
I've never lived in it.
no, you don't. You don't get used to it.
I thought it was
lived in-
like anal. Like it's bad at first, and then you're like, yeah, it's all right.
No, it's
You
more
know
like
Put it in my
it's
butt.
more like anal where
and then you're like, hey, I like this a lot.
it's more.
No.
See, for me, it's more like anal in that it's like, oh, what this is okay, and then eventually it's like we don't need this anymore. This just doesn't. This isn't necessary, and then you move to Colorado.
No one feels like
and
that
you don't
about
do anal or humidity.
Became a whole new person.
yeah. Yep. Exactly.
Your town knew me.
It gets old. It does not ever get better. If you walk outside, I mean, dude, like I had to wear like fucking button up shirts and like nice like not suits but just nice button up white shirts and black pants to work, and dude, when I would step out my house, I would just immediately start fucking sweating, dude. So by the time you get to work, especially because I had to take a bus and then ride a skateboard like for a mile, like
You're fucked.
I was So I think
Was it
like-
because you had a DUI?
no,
It's
no,
just
no.
like-
It wasn't. My truck was broken down at the time,
Mm.
and it was for a while.
Well, even in the summer here, trying to work in like slacks and aprons
Oh, yeah.
and
Yeah.
button downs
It's
and
hot.
shit.
It gets
too
hot
much.
here, yeah.
So yeah, I'm always like, fuck, I'm a little bitch. I won't be
But
able
the
to
hum-
handle that.
yeah.
I don't wear pants to open mics when it's hot. Just like shorts it
Yeah,
is.
Yeah,
Nobody gives a fuck.
yeah. Not an open mic.
Yeah.
No. But yeah, I think I don't know. I think like because like it does get so hot here, a lot hotter than I thought it would, and I think it's just because like our elevation,
You're
like
close
we're
to the sun.
7,000 feet
Yeah, no.
closer to the sun, dude. I guess.
Well,
I
that's
can
why you're
feel
like
feel
your
it.
skin will
Feel it.
burn more
Faster.
up here.
Yeah,
you know what
yeah.
I'm saying? Because
Yeah,
I lived
absolutely.
like in Nevada, outside of Vegas for a while.
How was that?
Awful.
Were you doing drugs?
No,
Seems like a great place to do drugs.
it was, but I was
Seems like the
pregnant.
only thing to do there.
I was pregnant
Uh,
and 20, so I wasn't old enough to drink, and I was knocked up, so I didn't have any fun. There was a lot of drugs around me,
right.
and the desert's disgusting. So how do we get into this? We're talking about the weather.
Yeah. I don't know. You
I
brought up
hate it.
Nevada. Yeah.
Nevada sucks. I don't know.
Oh,
Okay.
It was hot.
low
It was
elevation.
hot. It was low elevation. It was terrible. Oh, but it was hot as fuck, but I never got a sunburn.
Right.
Where up here, like, it's not as hot, but, like, you can burn really fast, I think. 'cause
Dude, I
you're,
see
like,
Kelly outside, and I put a sun hat on her immediately. I'm just
Yeah.
like,
Dude.
whoa!
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because then I can't touch her for 2 days because she's like, ow!
Right. Right.
Poor little thing.
And I'm a cuddler, you know?
Yeah, you can't have her being burned.
I know. I was like, before I go there, should I tell Brian he can't jump all over me and be a weirdo because it's Corona?
I didn't throw my leg around you or
Yeah,
anything.
no.
We had
you kept it side. You didn't
You
breathe
kept
all
it
over
side?
me.
I breathed the other way. Yeah, I've been very conscious.
Oh, that's
Yeah, it
hilarious.
sucks.
The window's open. We got ventilation in here.
We have ventilation. We're a very small group.
Yep. Third of us have been tested.
Which means I'm fine.
I guess so, because I am over here twice a week.
And your highest risk was that beginning part, I think, when you were still
Working.
around a little bit.
Yeah.
That's what I feel like too. I feel like once the restaurant closed, my big risk went away.
Yeah, I work in the
Mhm.
middle of fucking nowhere.
Yeah.
Other than gas stations, that's my highest
Yeah.
risk. And it's all old people there, so I feel like they'd either
Right.
be in the hospital or they're fine. In Ignacio,
The
actually.
gas stations. It's all old people.
Yeah.
I don't know. I guess I don't go inside.
I go to the 7-Eleven.
I don't go in the gas
The
station
7
anymore.
to 11.
I go to the 7-Eleven in Ignacio.
It's
The other one's a piece of
7-Eleven.
shit.
You were right the first time.
Okay.
Wait,
7
is it-
deuce. All right.
Do you
Wait,
ever eat the ice cream there?
I
should.
No. I used to,
Okay,
but I
so
can't eat lactose anymore.
Ignacio 7-Eleven ice cream.
Yeah, it's the danky dank. If you're
That's
coming back
what's
from
up.
the lake,
It's called 7 to 11?
Yeah, it's not 7-Eleven. It's 7-Eleven, and there's like some in Ignacio. Well, there's one in Ignacio. There's a couple like Farmington and Aztec.
Yeah, they're
Yeah.
known for their ice
There
cream.
used to be one in there,
they got
but
dank ass soft serve, dog.
the Ignacio
Yeah,
one,
it's crazy.
dude, was known for their ice cream. If
Forever,
you drive
yeah.
through Ignacio, you
You get
stop
ice
at
cream.
7-Eleven and get ice
100%.
cream
Okay.
on the way home from the lake,
Or the patio.
or when
yeah.
you're done with your baseball game, where you hit a bully in the face and crack him in the nose and give him some black eyes.
Yeah, we do wrestling
Awesome.
tournaments in Ignacio and then stop at the 7-Eleven and get ice cream.
Yeah,
Oh
it's
my
a
God.
thing.
Literally.
Yes.
Will I see it if I just drive?
Oh,
yeah,
yeah.
it's on the
Through-
main street on the right.
There's
Okay.
one
Boom.
road. Yeah.
One road.
pretty
There's
hard to
one
miss it.
road.
If you're in the neighborhood, you're the wrong place.
Yeah, do
Just-
Yeah.
it.
Okay.
7-Eleven soft serve.
Yeah,
Gotta
you'll
do
get
it.
shot for
It's just like
milling
a,
around in the
it's
neighborhood
just like
too
a
long.
tradition.
Tradition in it.
It's tradition.
It's tradition in
Yeah,
it.
the 7-Eleven
I
has
don't
new
know.
owners now.
Yeah, I know. That's why it's
Yeah.
not as cool as it was.
Yeah,
but
they have they sell pipes and shit now and grinders. I think the
Oh, God.
owners are Indian.
7 to
When I was in middle school, I used to fucking shoplift the fuck out of that store. We'd like have contests how much shit we could steal.
No, you can tell because every
And-
gas station in Ignacio is just covered in mirrors and cameras now.
Well, in the
Yeah,
90s
bet.
too, like they would put cigarettes on the counter. Straight up. Like
Yeah.
I used to steal cigarettes off the counter. And they thought
Yeah.
it was like, you know, you were watching cuz you're at the counter. No.
Yeah.
Not
No.
with me there.
No.
Sleight
I
of
didn't even
hand.
like cigarettes.
What?
I've never been a smoker, but you're in 5th grade, so,
what?
you're like,
Okay.
I'm cool.
Yeah.
You know, you're just fucking around, being a dickhead.
Seeing what you can get away with.
Yeah, it's kind of why I stole Pop Rocks. I stole Pop Rocks for some reason.
Somebody's vibrating.
Jesus.
Damn, dude.
Oh, my kid that didn't want to come hang out with me. What a bitch.
What if she got in a jet ski accident? Or dirt bike, I mean.
First off, it's my older daughter. The one that like thinks I'm really annoying, which I am annoying. I'm not denying that. But she also like she's always like a bitch to me all the time. She knows. She makes me like sad because she's like, "Wow, you're annoying." But then if I leave the house, she like blows me up and is like, "Where are you? What are you doing? What's going on? Where are you? What's happening? I thought you were gonna be home."
Yeah.
Do you guys say super mean shit to each other?
Growing
Growing up, my sisters and my mom constantly just like
Really?
the meanest shit.
my little one's mean to me, dude. This one,
The
no.
younger one?
I like her.
The little one, oi. One time she was being like mean. Okay, so I had a friend over who was a tall, skinny, ugly white boy. So obviously we weren't having sex. But she's like really possessive of me and stuff. And she was So she hated him, and she's like, "This is your boyfriend. He's super disgusting. He's ugly." It's Brandon Stern. Hey, Brandon. But
We'll tag
then she was just
Yeah.
being mean. And I was like, wow, like, this is great. I'm so glad you're here to hang out. And she's like, yeah, you're lucky I'm here. Because otherwise you'd be completely alone. Like, she was like 8 years old.
Oh
And,
my god.
and ugly ass Brandon Stern. He was like, whoa, mic drop. But she's just all the time. She fucking clowns me really bad.
Oh my god, dude.
It's really
She's
funny.
a natural born roaster.
Here's what else is funny is, like, I was like seeing this one dude and he was coming around the house, and so she got to meet him and she was super mean to him. It was great. I just laugh at this shit because I'm like, eh. But the dude who was not her dad, she was like, yeah, my dad, he's really strong. Yeah, he could really beat you up. He's like a super gangster, and like telling him how badass he was and all this shit. And then like
This is the young one.
Yep.
Yeah.
And then like a couple years later, her dad was hanging around, and you know, we're friends and shit, so we're like hanging out, barbecuing or whatever, and she's telling him, yeah, mom dated this dude, and he was like, I mean, pretty sure he could kick your ass. Like, he was this big ass white boy, and he was like really strong, huh? Jonathan could beat the shit out of my dad, huh? Like all this. So she's just like
starting
playing
shit.
both
Jesus,
sides.
yeah.
She's
That's
just
what
like,
kids do.
she's just like, get the fuck away from my mom, basically, which I'm not going to hate on her for that. She loves me. But it's
yeah,
funny.
no doubt.
Um,
It is funny, dude.
Super funny.
My parents got divorced like right after I was born.
Oh, wow.
So they realized they hated each other when they had a kid. And
They probably
I
just
was-
hated you.
I was two different.
Holy
Of course,
shit.
look at me. But I was a different person at each house. Like, I played both sides like a
Oh, yeah,
motherfucker. It was
right?
just, it was natural.
And then
Why
he-
not try to get the best of
Right.
every situation?
Yeah, and then
Yeah,
they're
yeah.
like, you know how your fucking mom is, and you're like, yeah, fuck that bitch.
Yeah. Oh,
Kids
hell
are
yeah.
awful. That's why I'm like, you gotta be your kids, man. They're terrible.
My parents definitely.
They're just naturally fucking
Yeah.
wretched.
My mom got a healthy fear from me young. Just like made me realize she was the alpha.
Oh,
She
yeah.
needs respect.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which is probably
You have
good.
to
I'm
do
a
that.
better person for it. And now,
Sure.
like when
Yeah.
you're older, you appreciate your parents so much more.
100%.
Like your
Right.
kids are gonna love all this time with you. They just hate you right now.
Because I'm a real pain in the ass, yeah. But no, and even my little 12-year-old that's super, like, you know, she's a pain in the ass, but she's afraid of me, so that's good. She's like, yeah, but my mom's a fucking maniac. She thinks, I mean, she's 12. She's like, yeah, mom has like some retard strength. Don't fuck with her.
I'm more afraid of you than any of the other comics. Maybe Jason. Like,
Oh God.
Oh, that's
Jadrian
Well, I'm, like,
really
good.
mad at you would be terrifing.
Yeah.
He's a giant man.
he's
But you
big.
could probably outrun him.
Oh, for sure.
I probably couldn't.
Yeah, but you're a woman. You can scream help. Nobody gives a fuck about me.
Yeah. That's
No
true.
one really gives a fuck about women screaming help either. They like don't want to get involved. They're like, oh goddamn.
You
Yeah,
gotta
especially if they see
Not my
Jadrian, so
problem.
you're running from.
Yeah.
Like, you know what? I'm not gonna be able to do
I'm
anything.
gonna pull out the camera, start filming.
I got evidence.
No, just like this is funny.
Yeah, I'm not scared of Jason chasing me down and beating me. I'm more worried about him sniping me
Yeah.
when I'm unaware. Like he's on the hillside over there or something. It's like, don't invite me to
Jason's
the
not
podcast.
Scary. He's
Nah.
nice.
I know.
He's nice. Everything about him is nice.
He's
He
very
just-
respectful.
He talks
It's a little awkward.
weird.
He says crazy shit.
But he's very nice.
He's a little too open about his
You can
Google search
no,
history
you
where
can
you're
tell
like,
it-
you're
you
crazy.
Can tell he has a nice mom.
Huh.
So that's what matters. Like you
Interesting.
too, actually.
My mom's awesome.
Both of you. I
No,
know- No. Is she unnice?
not the nicest.
No. But
No.
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 Oh, I'm sorry. Well, you have a nice cat.
You mean my wife?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. Just I don't have a cat either.
Yeah.
You're 0 for 2 so
Yeah.
far.
Yeah.
Yeah. No.
Well, your little,
seem like
I
a cat
mean,
person. No.
your little virgin experience, do you think that was because of your upbringing that you
Oh,
like took
100%.
all that time
oh, definitely.
and
yeah.
did it like the right way instead of just like getting
Well,
drunk
to them
and-
it was still the wrong way. You know, when they
You
found
weren't
when they
married?
Oh,
found
right.
yeah, because we weren't married.
But that sounds really sweet what you did, and you were like, especially, I mean, you're like almost 10 years younger than me. You know what I'm saying? Like that's.
I'm like 4 years younger than you.
Oh, I thought you were 30. Cat's
30.
30.
I'm 34.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. I thought you were like
But
closer to this.
He seems more immature. Yeah.
no, I just look younger.
Is Cat 30?
Yeah, Cat's
Okay,
30.
that's why I thought you were 30.
Yeah. No, it definitely had a big impact on it. But I forgot what we were saying before.
So
that.
your mom's not nice. So your
No,
mom
I mean,
fucked you up as a kid. She beat your ass.
No, she didn't beat my
Okay.
ass, man.
Then what are you bitching about?
Does she love you now?
There's more. Than
Are
that.
you guys
She
tight now?
always loved me,
Are you
dude.
guys?
No, that's the thing. Okay, so it's not that she's not nice to me. She's really like hard to get along with everybody else.
Can't bring friends around.
She's really bad at maintaining any friendship or relationship. And then like she's one of the people that's like every single time she goes to a restaurant there's something wrong and like shit like that. And especially as somebody that works at a restaurant, that's a big deal to me. That's that's a sign of a bigger issue to me, dude. Like if you can't enjoy anything without complaining about it, then I don't appreciate that.
My mom's like has no short-term memory.
That's fun.
And so she's always teased me about smoking myself stupid because she doesn't smoke weed, and I'm like, what's your fucking excuse?
Right.
And so she'll be nice to the waitress, but she'll literally be like, so can I get the 2 eggs, hash browns, toast, blah blah blah, and they'll bring it to her, and she'll be like, I wanted biscuits and gravy. I ordered biscuits and gravy.
Just been thinking about biscuits and gravy for 10 minutes.
No.
Yeah.
But I don't know.
My mom will be like, "This tastes pretty good, but it's like it's off a little bit." Or
Don't
something
you like
that.
it when you're like, how is it? And they're like, it's okay.
That's
You're like,
that's it.
well, say if it's fucking good or bad. Because
Yeah.
if it's bad, I'll fix it. Otherwise, shut the fuck up.
Sounds like you ordered the wrong shit. Sorry.
Yeah.
But I don't know.
That shit gets annoying, dude. Like it's
Are
frustrating.
your parents still married?
Yeah.
Do they like each other?
Yeah. They
Well,
do.
that's good.
Yeah, my dad's the sweetest guy in the whole fucking universe. Though.
Maybe that's what
That's
it
why
is.
it's like the yin
Maybe
and yang
that-
with
yeah.
me. That's why I'm like half like wild card and half like just a nice person. Because
Well,
my
you
dad
know,
is the sweetest.
Yeah, I always had a nice mom and like no dad, and then a terrible stepdad. But so I didn't really understand when people had like kind of shitty moms, you know. But
Yeah.
that does happen too.
But it's your mom. Yeah.
Yeah,
You
and I
know,
wouldn't say
sometimes shitty moms happen. You had a good mom though.
I had
But
a great
sometimes
mom.
there's terrible moms.
And I had a
great
good
mom.
stepmom, and I had a good stepdad for a while, and then kind of went off the wagon.
yeah.
Then we had problems.
As stepdads do.
But I was also 17, 18, so it was that age to
Get the
not
fuck
listen
out.
to anybody. Yeah.
Right. Fuck yeah.
But mom, stepmom, great. Dad, best dude in the world. He just quarantined for a month in a camper because he treated somebody with coronavirus. And,
Oh, did he really?
Yeah.
Where at?
Farmington Hospital.
No, I mean, where did
Your
he
dad's
camp? Where did he
fucking
camp?
hot. So is
Oh.
your uncle.
And yeah, I'm gonna look good when I'm old. Yeah,
yeah.
I'm comfortable with that. But he
God.
quarantined in a camper in the yard. My dad has a big
Oh.
piece of land. So,
Oh, okay.
But
And his camper's probably like fucking luxury.
it's not terrible.
yeah.
It's much nicer than my
Does he have
camper.
a
Yeah.
flat screen in there?
It's probably
Probably.
nicer than your
Yeah.
house. No.
I mean, it was
Oh, okay.
my.
It's not one of those like ultra luxury.
It was like my grandma's camper, so it's
Okay.
really old, but it was gangster then. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
it's giant.
Yeah.
And there's like
Yeah.
a full bed,
Yeah.
and yeah,
And so he's a doctor.
he just got lonely. He's a nurse.
Okay.
An RN, yeah, mostly dialysis. But he had to give people
Yeah.
with corona
Yeah.
dialysis treatment because he can't not give people dialysis treatment or they'll fucking die.
Wow.
That's right.
So he had to quarantine for a month in the camper.
That's hardcore. But
Damn.
He
he's
just slept his
he's
first
okay?
night in the house the other night. Yeah, he's fine.
So could he not work during that time?
No, he had to work.
He had to work,
Yeah.
even though he had been exposed.
Well, the whole hospital's kind of exposed, you know,
Wow.
Right. It's
because
floating
there's
around,
people
man.
there being treated.
Yeah.
You know?
It's going
But
around.
he wears like face shield and a mask and gown and gloves.
Right.
So
Fucking
nothing he's
hero,
wearing
dude.
should be exposed. You know?
Fucking hero.
Yeah, I respect the fuck out of
Yeah,
him.
me
yeah,
too, dude.
health cares.
I've
would
seen him
be
come home
intense
like
right now.
crying because he lost a patient. You know, that's the main reason I'm not in healthcare. Like, obviously, I didn't graduate, but I had no
Soul.
interest. Dude, I just can't take it. There's
I
people that
couldn't-
can. I can't.
I couldn't do it.
couldn't
I
take
can't.
blood and stuff.
I couldn't
think-
take being
I
a
think-
vet. How about wiping people's asses?
Yeah,
Shit
that would
like
be
that.
bad. I think those moments where you're like, helping people. That wiping ass would be bad.
Yeah,
but
if
like,
you're a surgeon, maybe you don't have to do that. But everybody else is gonna wipe
everybody
an
else
ass.
has wipe ass. I thought CNAs
couldn't
had
nurses.
I
wipe
couldn't
ass.
deal with
Yeah,
shit.
nurses.
I
Any
couldn't
nurse.
deal with blood. No way. None of it. I couldn't deal with any
Well,
of it.
I don't like blood and shit.
No,
either.
fuck all that.
I'm pretty bad
I-
with that. People are like, "You're a mom."
I
I'm
feel like there's a lot of
I've
people.
I've vomited 2 times from changing dirty diapers.
Jesus.
Like if
That's
if that shit gets on your fucking this part of the hand, it's okay. But like if it gets on this part, I'm gonna fucking puke.
I would.
Hell no.
I
I'd be
puke
like,
from the
"Ugh,
smell, dude.
I've heard people say that when it's your kid, it's like not a big deal.
that's not true. Because snot will make me puke fucking too all the time. I have a weak
Kids
stomach.
are snotty as fuck.
So like
Yeah.
no, I puke kind of easy. So
Me too.
so yeah, like
I'll
it
puke
doesn't
from
matter
something
if
in a
it's my
movie.
kid
Like
or
I
not.
can't watch Fear
Yeah,
Factor.
or people talking about something
Yeah.
gross
People eating
over
animal
and
dicks. I
over.
can't do
Yeah.
that.
No,
Yeah,
I'll be
yeah.
like,
Yeah, me too. Well, we were on the
It doesn't
podcast
matter
one
if
time,
you're your kid or not.
and Phil
Like,
had
no.
control of the computer, and he was just showing me like different fear factors where people were eating animal dicks or testicles or whatever, and I was just like,
Yeah, I
"Ah,"
hate
and he's
that.
like, I didn't know it would affect you this much.
No.
But he had control of the computer.
I
That's
hate
hilarious.
Fear Factor. I hate Fear Factor, and
Yeah, it's
it
disgusting.
low key makes me angry.
I like the
because
other
of
shit
that.
that's
like,
not
'cause
eating stuff.
Yeah,
like,
but like the eating stuff made it so I was like, fuck this show. Like
they got
Yeah,
canceled because
I'm not fucking
they
watching
gave
this.
people the option of either drinking donkey urine or donkey semen,
Oh my god.
and that was the episode they got canceled for.
They're like, this
Good.
is too much.
That's terrible.
Yeah,
and all the
no.
women went with semen, by the way.
Nuh-uh.
What would you go with?
Urine.
Me too.
Yeah.
I only let
Definitely.
semen inside my vagina and butthole, not my mouth.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. That's like
I'm not in like I'll be like this.
Probably wouldn't work out between us, Callie.
I'm just saying. And you gotta close your eyes too. 'Cause-
Butthole BJs.
Hell yeah, dude.
I get it. I wouldn't want to suck a
Jesus
dick
Christ.
either.
I
Yeah.
mean, yeah, no.
Butthole BJs.
That was like the first joke I ever saw you do. I was like, this lady's awesome.
Yeah.
It's a
Kelly's
good
the
time.
best. Oh, by the way, Kelly Parmenter's our guest today.
We'll do it at church.
Hi guys. Oh, how long have I been here?
109 minutes.
Nice.
Yeah, glad we finally introduced you.
Yeah, I was. I know he's all Kelly Parmenter. I'm like, that is my name.
You got that right.
Yeah.
We were laughing when we pushed record, so we just.
Yeah, I
If
thought
something
you guys
awesome is
had already
happening-
started to record.
Well, I
so.
pushed the camera and then there's audio. So I always say like the craziest shit before I turn on the audio. And my favorite shit is to watch before the audio starts. You've said some crazy shit. Everybody does.
Yeah.
It's just like, yo, before we start, like, yeah, I had somebody telling me about this mushroom deal and how they got arrested.
Yeah.
Those are always the craziest parts of the interview when we're getting to know each other, but it's not recording yet.
Oh yeah.
But I got it on camera, so I see it. But it's interesting.
That thing's picking up audio also.
Well, some, but it's just shitty. It's
Yeah.
not good enough to release. you know?
Got you. Yeah.
But yeah, you can hear it.
Okay.
Yeah.
No, I didn't know you could hear it. That's funny.
GoPro. GoPro has the most secrets.
Yeah,
And
I believe that.
There's been times where you stop the audio and then, you know, maybe somebody busted out cocaine at one point in the podcast history, and I saw that on the camera. It's just funny things to relive.
That's something you
That's
never,
funny.
ever record. Ever.
Oh, I deleted it
It
immediately.
wasn't. Yeah. It
It's
was.
But
gone
yeah,
now.
like of
Yeah.
all my like drug times.
Well,
and
I
shit,
forgot.
no one ever has ever recorded
Well,
that. But I'm old school too because
Well, you never
The
sat
la-
in front of
the
a
la-
camera
the
regularly.
last time I did coke was like a couple years ago, and I was like at this party with a bunch of 22-year-olds accidentally. and
Seems
it
to
was,
be a pattern here.
It was
Yeah,
it
there
was
was.
awkward for them and me at that point.
Once you get drunk
Well,
enough.
this kid busted out coke and he did it on his smartphone. He did it on the screen, and I'd never seen that before. And I was like, "Oh my god!" But then the coke was terrible, and I was like, "You little bitches don't even know what cocaine is.
Yeah.
Call me an Uber."
Started
Yeah.
flexing on him.
It
I
is
was like,
garbage.
I was like, this is like baking powder, right?
Yeah. Yeah, fuck yeah, good. Tell him.
But
That's experience.
But that was cool. I always had to do it off of toilets and shit.
Smartphone's better than
Yeah.
a toilet, but I also had a friend who was crushing up a rock on his screen and broke it, and it just like.
Oh God, that's terrible.
That's funny. It's hilarious.
Yeah, and Artie Lang. Well, and after that happens, there could be glass, right?
Yeah.
But Artie Lang, he had a chick breaking up pills with a salt shaker,
Right.
and it broke, and he got glass in his nose, and they had to like surgically remove
Yeah,
it.
it's fucked up for life.
Yeah, it's caved in. Have you seen Artie Lang lately?
No.
His nose is caved in.
I
Yeah.
don't see many people.
I just see him
I
online.
mean, it's
Yeah.
online,
Famous
dude.
or otherwise. I mean, what do I watch? Family Guy.
Well, I
That's
watch.
it?
We watch podcasts and comedy all the time.
I
so
watch a lot of stand-up.
yeah.
I don't
Yeah,
watch
is
a
it-
lot of TV. I'm not like that, like media person. Like I really don't.
That's good.
Yeah, I
I
just
mostly,
watch
like, I
podcasts and
watch
stuff with
mountains.
comics I like.
watch mountains.
Mountains.
I watch my kids grow up. I watch myself get fatter. Like I don't watch TV that much.
Oh, okay.
Fuck.
I watch a lot of YouTube. A lot of YouTube.
Oh, do you?
Daily
Like the-
Show. I like the Daily Show. I watch John Oliver's show, podcasts. Bill O'Reilly. I mean, Bill Maher.
Bill O'Reilly.
Bill O'Reilly? I was sitting here like,
Definitely
isn't
not.
that the one we're not supposed to like?
Yeah, definitely not Bill O'Reilly.
Oh God, I'm not saying there's nothing wrong with those dudes. I'm
No,
just
there is
I'm a
something wrong
weirdo.
with. There is something wrong with
well
that
with
dude.
O'Reilly. I'm just saying.
Yeah, big time. That was a weird slip of the tongue right there.
Yeah, was it weird?
Yeah, I think. But then other than that, podcast and fucking stand up. That's it, right? I mean, for me. Jerry
Jerry Springer?
Yeah, I almost did it
First
again.
off, I love Jerry Springer.
I almost did it.
That makes sense.
I will always watch that shit.
I meant to say Jerry Seinfeld.
Shut up,
though.
Brian.
How many
Listen,
times have you been on Jerry Springer?
0, but I could have been on there a billion. Like
Yeah, no shit.
a fucking billion.
We're well aware.
You would have been my
Okay,
favorite character
In
on
the
Jerry Springer.
90s, Jerry Springer was kind of like taboo shit to watch, and yeah, it's
Yeah,
still
it
like
was.
a,
That's why
a
we watched
guilty-
it. There was a chance of a titty slip.
It's still
It
like
didn't take them a sec to
guilty
blur back then,
pleasure.
you know?
Yeah, oh, 100%.
So my daughter, who's 17, when she was like 6,
Was on Jerry Springer.
no, don't you ever talk shit.
wanted
This
to-
is your baby daddy.
what she
Sorry.
wanted. She
I'm
saw-
the only one allowed to talk shit about my kids.
Sorry, that's fair. That's fair.
Fair
You
enough.
talk shit about my mom. Go fuck yourself.
Yeah.
I did not. I just said she had sex with some guy that you thought was your uncle.
What?
I did not. No, my mom's allowed to have sex with whoever she wants.
Anyways,
She's a grown lady.
I don't want to.
Oh man.
So I was like cleaning the bathroom, and she was in the living room. And Jerry Springer was on, and she was like, "Mom, get in here. They're fighting, and they're fat." Because she knew that was like the icing on the cake.
Trigger words.
Yeah. I was like, "Shit, let me."
She could probably be in social media marketing.
Dude,
it's
she
really
sounds
funny.
They're
hilarious.
fighting and they're
They're
fat.
all
Yeah.
hilarious.
Those are key words right
She
there.
Yeah.
just they think I'm dumb. So if she was here right now, she'd be like, "Shut up!" Oh my, every minute. Oh my God, like
Yeah.
she just. I would have
Well, that's
to.
kids,
if you want to
dude.
enjoy her company, please don't ever enjoy my 17-year-old.
I don't plan on it. Yeah.
Never gonna hang out with your kids
No,
ever.
Ever.
Don't worry
she's
about
fine.
it.
You can. They're fine.
I don't
I
want
saw her
to.
at the Henry Strader Theater and I said, "Good day, madam."
Yeah.
And I walked down.
Yeah,
Just
but she
walked
was like,
by.
"Nice titties." No,
Not me.
no,
Not
I'm
me.
just kidding.
I got too much
I'm totally
respect
kidding.
for you.
I know
and
but she's a
I don't wanna
beautiful
be a
girl. It's something I
pedophile.
have to accept. People are like, "Yeah, if you see guys checking her out, do you just beat their ass?" I'm like, "Do I beat every guy's ass? No." Like,
Yeah.
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 Like we're walking around. She's beautiful. It's fine. She's a beautiful young woman.
Yeah.
That's
It's
good.
fine.
Good
Yeah.
looking kid.
And I've
It's
equipped.
better than having the ugly kid. Nobody wants that.
I had to tell her not to confront people, because guys would be like checking her out and shit. She'd be like, "What the fuck are you looking at?" and all this shit. And I was like, "You just ignore them,
That's exactly
but,
what I want from my daughter. though,
But
if I have a
yeah,
daughter.
no, she's definitely the one to be like, "Get the fuck away from me," which
Yeah.
is great.
That's
That's
awesome.
And
because-
people notice
yeah.
that,
Yeah.
It's gonna get people's attention
Like
to.
back up,
Yeah.
back away. And she's a very nice. She's not like me. She's real nice. So it's nice that she has boundaries at a point.
Sure.
100%.
Yeah.
That's what you hope for.
That's awesome, man. Yeah. Be a good mama.
I guess so.
Fuck yeah.
All right, you guys want to wrap this thing
Yeah,
up?
let's wrap
We're
it
starting
up.
to get a weird frequency again.
I hear it, man.
I think-
it just
I
popped
think
up.
one of my neighbors has like a ham radio or something and it's
Yeah.
picking it up. I don't know. My speaker, if I just turn on the speaker and it's plugged into nothing, picks up some kind of radio channel. It's so weird.
Yeah. And it's starting to get louder.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah, man.
All right,
Callie?
thanks, dudes.
Where do they find you on social media or anything?
Oh shit.
Callie Parmenter on Facebook.
Yep, that's about it right now.
Nice.
But you'll find me in about like 2 years. I'm gonna be famous, so don't trip.
Fuck yeah.
I believe it.
Don't
Yeah.
trip, tater
Once-
chips.
Once her kids are out of the house and she starts
I'm gonna,
touring,
yeah.
it's gonna be a
Once I get these
fucking
kids out of
yeah,
here,
beast.
nah.
Yeah, dude.
No, we're gonna tour. Once your kids are out, you come pick us up and we'll fucking do the damn thing. I'm gonna have a
Absolutely.
dope ass minivan.
The
We can
three
all-
of
Yeah.
us, they're gonna
The three
fucking- That'd
amigos,
be
yeah.
a good
Super
tour.
fun.
That would
Yeah.
be fun, yeah.
I was
would
thinking
love
Drew
to
over
do
Dave,
some
but-
touring. Low key, me too, but I didn't know Drew was in, or I didn't know Dave was in.
Oh,
Well, he's here right
Callie,
now.
I'm
so-
hurt.
I didn't know.
Fuck you, bitch. I don't care.
It was low key, kind of.
You
right?
never booked
Yeah.
me at the rabbit hole, so
What? Oh,
just kidding. I
sour
love you.
puss.
No,
Aw.
sour pussy. Okay, let's go.
All right, love you very much, Dave.
Peace, guys. At Dave O Laughs on.
Instagram, Twitter.
Yeah.
Dave
That's
Oakley on
about it.
Facebook. Yeah, you can find us at JLW_podcast on Instagram, greenlightweekend at gmail.com. And yeah, deadroomcomedy.com. They sponsor us. We'll do a read probably in the intro. We love you guys. Thank you, Callie.
Thank you, Callie.
Dead room comedy is funny.
Peace, guys.
Bye, guys.
Hey, look, I just made it happen. Another young man out here rapping. All these antagonists coming at me. Saving the day, I'm the captain. Just imagine that I am a hero. Truth is, I ain't even got a scene, though. I don't ball, probably can't make a free throw. Lay a motherfucker out like Debo. That's right, little man with a big hook. And I got a big brain reading them big books. I don't make shit rain, blinking when I switch lanes. Man, I play my shit safe, I don't get shit looks. Drowning your swag in a swimming pool. All you fake rappers never even been to school. Kendrick had that one called swimming pools. And it went over your heads, you ever been to school? Nah. Pay attention, motherfuckers. Y'all settle down, settle in, motherfuckers. Telling y'all never gon' win. Every time I go in with a pad and a pen, motherfuckers. Apologies, y'all can't. Face mad, it's a prodigy, that's kind. Min sense is a part of me, that's I. Make sense when you step, better be kind. But then, I ain't in the game tryna make threats. I be in the game tryna get checks. More than that, there's much more to rap than getting money, little honeys in a 100 stack. You poppin' rubber bands and I'm done with that. Or maybe it's because I ain't done it yet. Whatever the fact is, too many whack kids that follow whack average plastic rappers. Yeah. Gucci belt, Louis belt, Fendi fucking wallet. Drop the stupid topic, heard enough of all the nonsense. Blood was spilled on the rocks, mounted on your watches. It's revolution time, revolutionize your conscience. Hey look, hey look, hey look, hey look, hey look, hey look. Hey look, 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 hey look. My bro said he wanna hear me sell out, but I don't know if I could ever sell out. Might as well just go to jail, put me in a cell and just sell out. Who am I kidding? Yeah, I wanna get rich. Tired of the struggle trying to make my rent. It's the same old shit, it ain't different. Some dudes alright, singing life's a bitch. What the fuck is this? I'm at the bottom end. Hate an alligator, I'm a hippopotamus. Stomping your shit until the lowest sediment. Cause you didn't make sense when you're moving them lips. Homie, get a new head when you need a new lid. People are thinking that's an opportunity to win. Taking it to another level with a little bass and treble. Knocking it out the park, I'm swinging for the fence. It's a trip. look. Hey, look. Hey, look. Hey, look. Hey, look. Hey, look. Hey, look.